All right, welcome back, Soul Family. I'm the Alchemist 369, and today I have with me a very interesting guest. Today I have with me Fourth Eye. Now, I first seen Fourth Eye when he came out on YouTube, and instantly after hearing some of his videos, I was like, okay, this guy is definitively having some serious out of body experiences. And just by listening to him, I was able to tell, okay, yes, this guy knows what he's talking about. He is having actual out of body experiences, because so often in this field, I may hear people claiming that they're having out of body experiences, and then you listen to them, and then it's more like an astral projection type experience and things like that. But this guy, he's actually having out of body experiences by the way that I define them. So without further ado, welcome, Fourth Eye.
What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Yeah, let's get
Good,
into
man.
it.
Good.
Let's go.
Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for being here, man. So to give an introduction to people that are watching that may not have heard of you or know who you are, would you mind giving us a brief introduction to like how you got into out of body experiences and what kind of led you down this path?
Okay. So basically, how I got into the out of bodies, I didn't know nothing about out of bodies when I first started. Like I was probably around 14. I was 14, 15 when I had my first conscious experience. But I've always been a dreamer. So like some people might be able to like agree, like no, like you, like when you start having out of bodies, you'll be like, okay, so I was having out of bodies for a minute, you just didn't know it. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
got introduced. Basically, you remember a show called Montel Williams show, and they had a
Yeah,
psychic on
yeah.
it named Sylvia Brown. She
Sylvia
was
Brown.
talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
yeah, she was talking about this experience. This lady, she could like keep. I'm laying in the bed and don't be moving. And she said she getting held down and stuff. So sleep paralysis. I was having that all the time. So I was like, that's interesting. Then she was like, you just
Mm,
having out of bodies. And I was like, out of
mm,
bodies? What that mean? So so when I seen that, that kind of stuck in my head. So when I was like 15, at my grandpa's house with my uncle. We both sleep. It's around Christmas time, before Christmas. And I'm laying on the couch. He used to always watch like the TBN, like the church channel. So I'm laying there and I'm listening. It's Creflo Dollar. He preaching, and I'm trying to sleep. I got a face mask on. We live in the hood, so the houses they ain't insulated that well. So it cold hit. I mean cold. I ain't trying to curse. It's cold.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm laying there with the face mask on, and next you know, I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm like, I could have swore I was just laying down. So I'm sitting on the couch, and the sun is out, and I'm like, how I just get here? So in my mind, I'm like, either I'm in a dream, or I'm dead. Like that's how I'm thinking. Like I didn't just die.
Mhm,
Like because I didn't feel the separation, but I'm like, I know I was laying down, so I didn't just die or something.
mm,
So I get up, I'm thinking I'm a ghost. I see my uncle walking around the house. He ain't looking at me. I'm like he ain't paying me no attention. So I'm like, I'm finna leave some marks. I'm I'm scratching walls and I'm going into the back room, throwing clothes everywhere. So I'm like, I'm gonna go outside. So I go outside. As soon as I open the door, I feel the wind blow like I'm like, damn, I can feel this. Like this is real. This ain't no dream. I was like, what the hell? Like, so I walk, I go to the back side of the house. I start walking, I hear leaves cracking. I'm like, damn, like in a dream, you don't pay attention to how many steps you take.
yeah.
Like it fluctuates. You'll be sitting there, and then you'll be on the bike, and then you'll be in the back seat of a car. So you like, so like
Yeah.
I'm seeing every step. Like, what the hell going on? So I get to the front of the house and I look down the street. It's like nobody outside. There's no cars. I'm like, what's going on? Like I'm a ghost. I look at the house and I look at the window where I was laying at. Next, I just float to the window. Like man, for people who don't know, like out of bodies feel real. So imagine your body just floating. You don't know nothing about this stuff. Your body just float towards a window. So I'm thinking my head about to hit the window because I'm like, like I'm going towards the window. I go straight through the wall and I'm back in my body. I feel everything come back on my body, the face mask, my body, like the clothes, everything. When I woke up, I said, oh shit, I just had an out of body. I'm doing that again. As soon as I closed my eyes, I separated and was sitting back on the couch. So this time I'm like, I'm leaving evidence. I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost. I know I'm a ghost now, but that wasn't true. But that's what I was thinking. I was young. So I'm a ghost. So I go
Mhm,
in there, I just messing stuff up. I'm messing stuff up. I go to the back. I say I'm gonna go back around the house and I'm gonna do all this stuff again, but I'm gonna do it faster because I wanna see what's going on. I go to the front again.
mhm.
I hear the leaves cracking, the wind blowing, all that stuff. The sunlight's beaming. I'm like, this is amazing. I get to the front. I go down. I go down to the street. So I think I'm a ghost. I think I'm a ghost. So I see one car. It started coming the road. So I'm like, I'm about to look. I'm trying to look and see who in the car. As soon as the car passed by, they honked their horn, terrified me. Now, this is why we telling people it's some stuff that'll scare you that shouldn't scare you. Like him hitting the horn, I was like, oh no, he can see me. So I run back up the stairs. So I run back up the steps like, oh yeah, he must be a ghost too. I don't want to see this motherfucker. I ain't trying to see him. I run up the steps. I get to the door.
Yeah.
I'm about to knock on the door. My uncle open the door. So I'm like, okay. Walk in the house and I'm looking around. So I'm like, okay, I done been out for a minute. So I'm like, okay, time to wake up. I need to get up. I close my eyes. I open them. I'm still there. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Like, oh. I'm like, nah, this ain't. I'm like, hold up. Nah, wake up. I close them again. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Open my eyes, can't wake up. I'm like, oh, I done died. I done messed around. I thought I'm having out of bodies. I done died. I'm pacing around the living room, like pacing, like, oh man, I gotta wake up. I gotta wake up. I gotta wake up. I finally go sit on the couch because I'm like, I ain't waking up. Like, I think I'm dead. I don't what the hell. And I got to sit and see my uncle walk around and pace around. So I put my head in between my legs and I just started like meditating. As I meditate, my body goes sideways. My legs stretch
Mm,
out, the clothes back on my body. And I'm like, and when I woke up, Now, mind you, I'm like, this time I was scared when I woke up. Like the first time I was like, oh, this is amazing. The second time when I woke up, I was like, oh, like like I ain't trying to curse, but I'm like, oh shit. Like when I woke up, my uncle heard me. And he was like, what the hell, boy? And I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him and I'm trying to see if he real. Cause when I where I was just at was way clearer than than what I'm seeing right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking
yeah,
at
yeah.
him and I'm seeing static and I'm like, you look. I was like, I don't know what just happened. I said, I just left my body. Like I'm telling him this, woo, woo, woo. And you know how, like my uncle pastor, he like to be active from the body is to be present with the Lord. So I'm like, so I'm like, I don't know, I don't even know if you real. He like, you don't know if I'm real because it ain't clear. Like I'm like this, like this ain't
Yeah.
clear. Like, but that was my first conscious out of body experience. But before that,
Wow, man.
I was having like real bad sleep paralysis, like feeling people like being in the room and stuff, pinching me. But come to find out, it probably was me doing that to myself because I'm stupid. But yeah, that's how.
Yo,
that
man, that's that's amazing, man. And you unpacked a lot there. A lot of things that we can touch on real quick. You know, it was a funny experience for sure, especially for me because you describing the feelings and sensations of being out of the body so well. Like these are real
yeah.
thoughts that you will have, right? Like when you say, "Oh
Hmm.
crap, he can see me." You will have
Yeah.
moments like that because it's no different than here. So like when you're outside of your body, you're like, okay, are you really outside of your body? Like the whole time the experience is happening, it's like, am I really outside of my body? So when things will happen
Hmm.
and you think nobody can see you, and then if something happens, you're like, oh, maybe they can. Maybe I'm not out of my
Yeah.
body. You know, those thoughts come in, and it's like, oh crap. Now another thing that I want to touch on is when you don't know these things are exist or these things are possible, and this is the importance of conversations like these, making this awareness out there, because there's tons of people having out of body experiences just like you were when you
Hmm.
were 15, but nobody was out there talking about them like this.
Yeah.
You see, so the fact that now we're out here talking about this, it's going to raise so much awareness to the fact that the other side is real, and many people have these innate abilities off rip without even having to do one, and that you can actually induce this state and go home to the other side. It's so powerful. Now I remember Sylvia Brown as well. My family was very big on Sylvia Brown. They went to go see her speak and stuff like that. I
Oh
remember
yeah.
reading her books, The Other Side. One of her books was called The Other Side. And she was talking about heaven, talking about one of her spirit guides, Francine. I remember when I was like
Hmm.
8 or 9, I was trying to um, contact my spirit guide by the way that she contacted hers. And I
Yeah.
remember sitting there trying to. I was like, "Come on, Francine, where are you?" and then and then come to find out, when I later on when I did meet one of my spirit guides, his name was actually Francis, and I'm like, wow, that's
Mm.
crazy. Her spirit guide name
Yeah.
was Francis, mine is Francis. But I never. I wish I would have had the connection that you did though when I heard her talking about sleep paralysis on I remember her being on Montel a lot as well, but I never
Hmm.
put that together because when I was young too, I used to have sleep paralysis a lot as well, and that probably would have helped me. But that's amazing that you were able to put that together, my man.
Yeah.
Um,
Eh,
so. Mhm.
oh no,
What were
I
you
was
gonna
still
say?
listening.
Oh yeah. So so you were having sleep paralysis from a young age, and then you had your first uh, out of body where you were aware when you were 15. What
Hmm.
what was life like for you after that? Like what was life like
Crazy.
for you?
Mother, crazy. Nah, see, you got like I'm like one of them people when I started having them consciously. Like I would talk to certain people about it, but sometimes you tell somebody like, man, you doing some drugs or something. But
Hmm.
I was like, even though I was having these experiences, I wasn't like mentally in a spiritual like how people like now you get on it, you be like, man, I want to know myself and I want to go for I was still ignorant. Like, you know what I'm saying? So but around 15, I started like around 15, I started having like losses in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like friends and stuff losing their life and whatnot. So that was playing a role in my life. So I started getting into the Bible. Like I was raised Christian. So I was like, I'm like in the Bible because I'm like, I might end up dying next. I need to, because I'm still scared to die. Like I need to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? So my church, I didn't really get fully into it until I was about 24, like fully trying to understand it because I was just having them. Like, I didn't know nobody that was having them, so I was like, I can't talk to nobody about it because they ain't having the same experiences. They just looking at me like I'm having some crazy dreams, but because
Yeah, man.
I can't describe to them like how real this is. I learned it early on that
Mhm.
I can tell somebody how real it is, but they'll never really truly know until they experience it for themselves. So it's like when
Mhm.
people will argue with me, I'll be like, I can't even argue with you. I mean, you right.
Because
You
you
know it's
don't
not
know.
real
Yeah.
because you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I
I
remember
would,
when oh, sorry, just to piggyback off that idea, not to cut you off, but
no,
I
you good.
remember even in that exists, man. You know, the loneliness after this experience because humans they don't know, they don't understand. When you tell them, you're like, "What are you talking about? Are you talking about dreams? Like, are you
Yeah.
having good dreams, or are you doing drugs, or are you doing drugs?" And for me, it was a little bit different because I was brought in and I was actually taught, okay, this is what it is, this is what you can experience, this and
Hmm.
that. And I was like, okay, so I knew it was real, I knew what was going on. And then when I would still try to talk to people around me about these experiences, they wouldn't understand it. And I'm just like, all right, just know that you exist outside of here. Like, if you don't understand nothing else,
Hmm.
just know that you live on. And then
Yeah.
that's why I found it was important to have communities about this, and places for people to go and talk about these things, and YouTube, and to openly talk about these things helps. But yeah, I just
Yeah.
wanted to touch on that. But yeah, man, so keep going. So you were trying to explain to people what you were experiencing, and
Yeah.
they weren't really grasping it. Yeah.
Yeah. They wasn't grasping it. So it was like it took me to go when I was staying in Virginia. That's when I started making the videos. It was like '08, '09. I started making videos. It wasn't a lot of people on YouTube making the videos, but it was like a small community. But Astro Boo Baby was one of the ones that was on there that I could relate to because he was making a bunch of videos about it back in the day, like back in those times. But it was like you said, like some people they was having them, and then some people you hear you be like, I don't know about that. Like you might be having something else, like it might not be out of body, but it was hard back then even too, like on the videos, because I'd be like trying to relate to other videos, but I'm like, I ain't having that experience. I ain't knocking that experience, but I'm like, I just that doesn't seem the same as what I'm experiencing. So um and then somebody tried to damn near put me in a code. Like so I was like, I'm seeing myself on sites that I wasn't didn't authorize and stuff. I'm like, you put me on a site and I'm a part of this group. Like it was a whole bunch of stuff, but that was like that was in 2008, 2009. But I made videos for a little bit, then I just dropped all my videos off, and I was like, I don't know enough to be giving out information because I don't want to lead anybody astray because I like people was losing their mind. Like I said in some of the videos,
Hmm.
they started talking different. They, "Hey, man, I'm in the lights and shining darkest places. Like they start talking like that. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to lose my mind. Let me take these videos down. Let me regather myself and figure out what's really going on before I be out here talking to my hand like one like
Oh
nah, I ain't gonna
yeah,
say nothing.
I
But
see what you're saying. So what you're saying is people here in the physical, they didn't know what to do or where to put these gifts, so they would seem like schizophrenic in a way or something like
yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah,
like they
and I
was
can yeah, and I can definitely see how, you could be afraid if you didn't know what was going on. You'd be, afraid that, hey, that could happen to me. Yeah, I could definitely
yeah.
see that.
Then you
Um,
got you had other people that was on there that's talk that used to. That's why I always be playing around when I be saying like people like I wanna like they want to come into your experience and stuff. Like, come over here, whooping that. It's gonna be a belt to you know what I'm saying? Belt to behind. No, I'm just playing, but so, but because used to have people back there. Like I remember one dude told me one time. He say, "Look, if you come out your body and you see me, I'm a giant and I can hold you in my hand." I said, "Boy, I You hold me in your hand, you must know how I'm ignorant out there on the other side right now because I wasn't. I was ignorant out there. I was like, man, you ain't no. How you gonna tell me you a giant and I can fit in your hand? Like now, I have seen some giants that you can fit in your hand, like that you could like. But I'm like, nah, let me step away from this. At least these whoever them they was. But yeah, it was a cool little it was on and off.
On
Like
and
let me
off
try.
for a while.
Yeah, because I would have out of bodies like every day. Like at some like points, it was like all throughout the week. Then I'm not remembering most of them because you probably can relate to this. You have an out of body. So you wake up from that out of body and you might want to do it again. So you make yourself come out because
Go
you
back
that
and then
window
you
of
forget the
opportunity.
first one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So you like, I
yeah.
got this window of opportunity right here. So you like, nah, I'm gonna go again. Boom. So I come back, go out, boom, come back. Now I'm like, damn, I ain't remember the first two. So I gotta just like write down the last one. But yeah, I was having
Yeah, yeah. It's so I got lucky. So my first time popping, coming back to my body and popping back out, I remembered everything because that was my focus,
hmm.
right?
Oh
But
yeah.
but sometimes when you do come back, yeah, it's kind of like dreams, right? And that
Yeah.
aspect where when you have a dream and then you remember it when you wake up and then you go back to sleep and have another dream, you're not going to remember the first one as much. It's just like that with out of bodies for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
But sometimes I am able to remember them. But yeah, man, that yeah, I know that window of of opportunity is so small. When you come back, if you're able to not be excited from your last out of body,
Oh
it's
yeah.
very
It's so
easy to just
you be
hop
like,
back in.
hmm?
Yeah.
It's like just hopping up to walk to the bathroom. Like, don't do that because you gonna like you might shit, you might defecate yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
You
yeah.
gotta keep going back out, man. Yeah, for sure. And I resonate with what you said about, they were like every day in a week. There was a time period for me as well where it was like every day. Like I would consciously try to have them, a lot as well.
Hmm.
But then oftentimes I wouldn't even be trying to have them. I'd just be trying to go to sleep and I'd still be coming out of my body. And I'm just like,
That's
damn, what the like how the hell am I coming out this
yeah.
much? I was like, I see everybody struggling and it's just wow, wow, wow.
Make you
But
feel
then
bad. Like, damn.
yeah, but then there was other times too where they didn't happen at all. Even when I was trying, it was a little tough
Hmm.
to have them, but it definitely comes in waves. So as they were happening, pretty a lot more frequently, when did they first start getting, when you were like, okay, I'm gaining control now. Now, you're getting a little bit used to this state, and like, what were some of those experiences like early on for you?
I think as y'all know, the ones that's on here that know I watch my videos, I was in there thinking I was Bruce Lee. So I was whooping a lot of tail out there. I had to get I had to get over that fear because I was scary. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was a scary. I was scary. I come out there, you
Yeah.
step behind me. I'm oh no. Like so like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was scared of everything. The wind, a leaf could have blew by me while I was at my out of body. I was about to. So what happened was, it would be those incidents because people used to be like, when you an experience and you get, because I say attacked, but I never was really getting attacked. Attacked. It was I felt attacked because I felt like things were coming at me. They would like try to grab you and stuff, but they would never really do nothing. But I was just afraid.
Mhm,
My own fear was like crippling me. So it's like when that stuff would happen, I would be like, people back then they used to be like calling your higher self, and your higher self will help you. So I'd be like, higher self, come
mhm.
forth. Like nothing happened. I vibrate. I'm like, oh, they done lied to me. I ain't listen to these no more. They done lied to me. Higher self, come forth. It's like, nah, you gotta do this yourself. When I realized that I could levitate objects and I could move, I can manipulate things and all that stuff, it was over with. I was like, okay, yeah, I just lift them up, throw them in the air.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't. But the thing about that part was is that I wasn't facing my fear by doing that. I was just get away. I don't want to talk to you. Get away. So
yeah,
I wasn't even getting information that I possibly could have got because they could have been good. Like they could have been coming to
yeah.
try to talk to me and tell me some real information. But I'm like, I don't like the way you look. Get out of here. So like,
Yeah.
no, but
Yeah.
I had
The
what?
battling the fear is a real thing, man. Battling the fear is a real thing. Even, even for me, and of course, it's different when you're battling it on your own for sure. So I give you tons of kudos, bro, for you to even handle that on your own and to continue having these experiences and not letting your fear shut them down. That's a
Yeah,
very tough thing to overcome, man. So kudos to you for that. But even for me to come in with the fear, it was still tough because I remember, I knew everything. I knew I was my ultimate authority. I knew all these things going into it. I knew I was an infinite, being, and all of that. But even then, when you're in these experiences, you'll have some fear. I remember when one time I came out and I seen this like evil looking grin like looking teenager. Like he was just sitting on top of my closet looking at me like I'm like, who are you, bro? Like, why are you in my room? You know what I mean? So I go after him, I go to chase him. I'm like, yo, get up out my room, bro. Like, what are you doing in here? And as I go to chase him, I'm instantly in this other room. I'm like, oh damn, nah, man. Now where am I? Now it's dark in there. I'm like, oh crap. I'm like, what the hell I got myself into? And where is this little guy? Because I want to find out like what you was doing in my room. Like, why is you in there? You know what I mean? And who are you? And so I'm walking, and then next thing you know, I see Freddy Krueger, and I'm like, oh God.
yeah,
Oh God. And I was like, all right, I was like, damn, am I gonna fight this guy or am I just gonna make him disappear? Because I know it was my thought form. But as soon as I
yeah.
seen him, I'm like, oh nah, fuck this, man. I'm out. You know what I mean? I just turned out. I just turned right
Hey,
back
wake up.
around, went right back in my body. Yeah, hey, wait. Yeah, hey, wait. Hey, wake up. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of
Uh,
here.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
had
man.
one with It Clown. I was walking in a normal
Mm.
body. Half the time, I come in the house, I'm like walking through the house. I go in the backyard. Next, you know, this clown just dropping to the backyard, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, where did It Clown come from? So I look up in the sky. When I looked up in the sky, I saw some birds, and I didn't deal with this clown. I looked like some crows. So I was like, in my head, I was just thinking this in my thoughts. I was like, I wish they would just attack this clown. Like, and you know, the bird came down and just tore him up. So I was like, hmm, got a little bit more power than I thought. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was a point where I
So,
thought that I had my that I thought I got to a point where I was like, man, I ain't got no fear left in me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't fear nothing.
yeah.
Yeah, then I had that one where I went through the light, and then that right there showed me I was still afraid to die, and I had to really do some work.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh wow.
cause
Oh wow. What was that like? What was that like?
that was strange. That it wasn't actually. I think it could have been a good experience, but it was like it became strange. Like
You
what it
perceived it as
was
strange. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So I was in. You know, you ever been in the out of body and you've been told to go help somebody? Like, hey, go help this
Hmm.
person. Like, so it was a little girl that was like, help this girl. So I'm like. I'm on autopilot. I'm all right, let me help her. And I'm trying to help the girl, like I'm afraid to go to the light. So I'm like, I don't really know. I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with going through the light. You good. Like, go ahead, go through the light.
He said, I
But
don't
I
really
don't
know, but ain't nothing
know.
wrong with it. Go ahead.
So I'm like, go ahead, go through this light. I'll probably
Yeah.
send her back home, back to a reincarnation. Go ahead, come back.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but I'm so like confident, like, okay, you go ahead. Look, if you that scared, I'll go through it with you. Why'd I say that? I'm like, okay, I'm going through it. Next, I go through, and I'm in this reality. It's sunny outside. It looks beautiful, but it's like it was so long. Like I'm going through different buildings. I'm playing with like these kids, and they keep playing the same game, and they want to play, and they want to play, and I'm like, look, I'm trying to stop playing, and I'm trying to go. I try to turn around and go find the door. Where the door go? They like keep playing. We want to play. I'm like, hold up, now I gotta wake up. So I try to wake up. I wake up, but I'm hold up. They like, you good? You okay? I'm like, nah, I gotta wake up. So I like start. I find a way out this room. I go outside. I go down the street and I see a car pull up. Now every time I have to wake up, something else distracted me to where I wouldn't. I stopped thinking about waking up. So I keep going.
Mm.
Now this is going on for a long time. This dude, he hopped out the car. He started talking to me, and I'm talking to him. He like, you want to go with Wolf? So I start riding with him. It was a wolf. When I met the party, it was a wolf with blue eyes, and yeah, I could, you know how like animals, like if you see an animal in an out of body, they talk to you, like you can like you know what they saying to you. They talking to you. They ain't doing like this, remember, but they talking telepathically. And he said something to me, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna bring this dog with me. So I let the wolf in the back, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and he driving. Then I start thinking again, man, I need to wake up. Like I've been out for a long time. Like what? Like hold up, like wake up. He like, nah, you good, you good. And I'm like, hold up, nah, I need to wake up. So I'm wake up. So and I look at him again. The dog, he start, he keep trying to tell me to wake up. I mean, I'm good, like you good. And I'm like, man, the next the dog start growling at the dude. And I'm like, yeah, something ain't right with him. I hop out the car.
Yeah.
Then I forget again that I need to wake up. I start going along again. I'm walking down the street. See this house on a little hill. It was like a little hill. I go to that house. I'm kicking it at this point. I'm forgetting to wake up again. Like I'm walking up to the house. Do, little dummy. I go into the house. It's people all out there. They just chilling. They ain't doing nothing bad. I walk in the house. The lady of the house started talking to me, and she had like this like a lot of art around the house. It looked like ancient art, like African from every culture, like all kind of art. And I started going to the back room. I went to the back room, and the dude, when I was about to go to this back room, before I went into that back room, it felt like a force field, invisible force field. But I was like, I want to see
Mm.
what's in there. And when I walked in there, the dude walked behind me. He's like, hey, you can't be in this room. And I was like, man, I said, man, I'm in an out of body. I'm looking at this stuff. Like, what they gonna do? I'm gonna just wake up. Then I said, damn, I do
Mhm.
need to wake up. So I try to wake up again. Well, I can't wake up. The lady come back. She like, he fine, he fine. He can stay in here. So I'm looking around and all this stuff. And I get back into my head like I'm like I need to wake up. So I like start walking down the hallway like I need to wake up. I'm closing my eyes when I'm walking down the hallway. Now I'm getting mad because I'm like I need to wake up. Like now I'm like hold up, I think I died. Nah, I need to wake up. So I run out the house. The dude followed me. He keep messing with me so I push him. I run down the street. He keep grabbing me. So I like, pushed him with my energy this time and just slung him. And
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I started freaking out. I put my arms up like this and I started saying, I can't wake up. Like, I'm screaming. I'm talking about I'm yelling. I can see the reality look like it's shaking. But I
Yeah.
need to wake up. And next you know, the lady, she run out the house. I see her running out the house. Chris, stop, Chris. And she knew my name. So I'm like, even while I'm sitting here panicking and shit, like, she know my name. Like,
Yeah.
she like, you can wake up. She get close to me and she rubbed the palm of my hand with her hand like that. She like, you can wake up. As soon as she rubbed the palm of my hand like this, I just flew back like this through a portal, just and I woke back up on the couch and I was like, oh shit, I think I just died. I think
Yeah.
I think they would have saw
All
me
right.
laying on the couch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rick and
So this is
Mortis in
this
that.
is important, man. Yeah. So this is an important thing, man. So all right, so you got there by going through the light and helping that lady cross over. Now, oftentimes this is referred to as the point of no return, right? But obviously, the
Mhm.
will of your soul outweighs anything. So you crossed over there, and that's why it was hard for you at first to come back, because
Mhm.
it is that's where people go when they cross over. That's like the infinite. You're outside of this earthly realm. You are now where people go when they cross
Yeah.
over. You know what I mean? And where I think you were is where my friend is. I don't know for sure. So, if this doesn't resonate, throw it out the window, of course. But this is just
Yeah.
from my experience. I believe where you were, I call this realm one, dimension B, because there's
Mm.
another dimension within this realm that where humans go. And this is where my friend passed away like my friend passed away like I don't know, years ago. But every time I see him in an out of body experience, he is in this other place that's just like Earth, and he's always like at a house party, like just partying, man, just having the time of his
Yep.
life. I remember the last experience I was at. he took his shirt off, and I'm like, damn, man, you got diesel. And I didn't know I was in an out of body this time. I just became aware, and I was like, damn, man, how'd you get so diesel? And he was just like, oh yeah, me and Brady, this is just how we always look all the time now. And I'm like, Brady, wait, Brady's dead. You're dead too. And I'm like, oh, I'm out of my body. I was like, oh man, like, what's up, bro? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so there's like other dimensions where like they go and like they just play out like another lifetime or like life like events, you can say, in these spaces and
Yeah.
stuff. Well, so now this is another good point to point out to people, because a lot of people, this is oftentimes a topic that gets people scared when having the out of body state. What if I get stuck on the other side, right?
Hmm.
What if I get stuck? Well, you guys can see from Fourth Eye's experience that he was never stuck. He was always
Yeah.
in control and was always able to come back. You know what I mean? It may and also when you cross through this portal, now time works completely different. When you're around round one, time kind of still works the same. But once you
Hmm.
cross a certain threshold or a portal or something, time is going to be completely
Definitely.
different. So it can seem like you were there forever,
In a 30
forever.
minutes.
Yeah, yeah. It
Oh,
can feel like
the
you were
whole
there
life.
for yeah the whole life. You're like, oh, like I done lived a whole life and I'm out of my body. But
Hmm.
you can always come back. You are always your ultimate authority. Now, if there was ever a time when you couldn't come back, what that experience would have looked like when that man said, hey, hold on, you can't go in there. Now, if he
Hmm.
would have said, if you would have had the feeling of, oh, if I go there, then I really am dead. That feeling would have
Yeah.
came to you when he said that. Like it wouldn't be like, oh, I'm just gonna keep going. And no, it would have came to you,
Hmm.
and you would have known and understood. Okay, so if I go there, yeah, my human life is done. So but this is a perfect example of like what this actually looks like and feels like, man. So thank you so much
Yeah.
for sharing that. So after that experience, you realized another thing I want to point out. You said you realized you were still afraid of death.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to give you a little bit more credit than that at that time. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't believe that you were really afraid of death. What it could have been was just your soul knew, oh, I'm not finished on earth. I still
Yeah.
need to go back because I still have things to do. For
I
example, you
still got
still
a
have to
job.
have this conversation and enlighten people on this planet. You
Yeah.
see? So like you still knew that. So you're like, wait, I can't stay here. I got stuff to do on earth still. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes
It
sense.
could
That
have
makes
been
sense
like
to
that
me.
as well. Yeah. It could have been like that as well,
Hmm.
yeah, man. But yeah.
Because
So go ahead.
recently, I mean, because now it's like, now if I have experience, I ain't gonna lie. If I'm in out of body, I'll be like, it's a lot of times, even recently, I'll be like, man, you know what? If I don't wake up, it's fine. Like a lot of people think, because they hear like people that be like super religious, they tell them like, you leave your body, they cut that cord, you out of here. Like, how you know? Like, who
Mhm.
came back after they got their cord cut and was like, hey, I died, but I put my cord back together and I came back just to let y'all know I died because they cut my cord. Like, you ain't gonna know that. Like, they
Yeah,
dead.
yeah.
Like, but nah, you won't get stuck. If anybody could be stuck, I would have been stuck a long time ago. Like, cause I've been out there just kicking it. Like having a good old time.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So that's a good point, man. That's a good point. So after that experience, what is another experience? Now you said that you were out there just kicking it. So what's an experience where you were just out there just kicking it, just having a good old time?
Man, it's like it's so many experiences. So like a lot of my experiences, like you probably can attest to this too. Like you have a lot of experiences that you probably don't talk about because when you have them, it's
Hmm.
like they just so normal. It's like they become so normal that you just be like, oh, that was just not about it. I was just kicking. I watched some TV, and a lot of
Yeah,
times I
you
watch
forget
TV.
about it. Yeah, you can forget about it until you're speaking with somebody, and then you remember it. Like, oh yeah, I remember that experience. Yeah, or
Yeah,
something
like
like
I will
that. Yeah.
constantly go back to the same experience a lot where I would be in this house with this. It was an older man's house. And I remember I always be in this neighborhood. That's where I learned how to blend in because I used to go to these, when you in them, I say lower, but only reason I say lower is because it's more or like earthbound type of it's like the era of earth. Like you see the same things you see here, like you said, round
Hmm.
one. That's why I say lower. But you be in these places. Like I'll be going to the same place, kicking it with this old man. There's a lady in the house. She be cooking and stuff. We'll be watching TV. I'll be just sitting there interested. Like they really watching TV. Like, and if you have a lucid dream, you know that you can control like almost everything in a lucid dream. You can make the walls move. You can make people do what you want them to do in the lucid dream. But when you're in the out of body, you can look at somebody, you can lift them up, and you can make, but you can't think in your mind like do this, and they're gonna do it, or that they, you know what I'm saying? Like they can slap
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
They can slap you in the out of body. Like they can walk up on you and just punch on you, like if they want to. But they most times,
yeah.
like, that'll never happen to me. But no, I haven't slapped in the back of my head though. But
Yeah.
I would always go back to this house and stuff. And the dude used to tell me, like, one of the dudes that was in like the house next to me that I was in, he was like, you don't know how you look, do you? And I was like, what? He was like, you look like a ball of light. So I'm like, I'm looking at myself like, hold up, do I? So it was a time I didn't like people touching me out of bodies. Like I didn't like when people would come up on me because they was like, it'd be like weird, like you'll be walking, like
Energy,
say
it's
you
weird
have a,
energy.
they'll
It's
just come
crazy
grab you
energy. Like
and
when
just
they
look at
touch
you.
you, like, yeah, this dude hugged me one time, bro. And I swear to God, I'm like, his back was all hairy and he's hugging me. He's holding me a little too tight. And I'm like, yo, are you a little fruity? Like, why are you hugging me like this? You know what I
It
mean?
won't
Like,
let you
what's
go,
going
just
on?
holding you
Yeah,
tight.
yeah. It's
Like
like,
you got a
it's
like you
like,
got
what's
a
going on?
firm, you got a firm grip, brother.
Yeah. I was like, yo, what the hell is this? Like, why are you touching me like this? Yeah.
Like that just be, yeah. It used to creep me
Yeah.
out. So I used to be like, man, that's
Yeah.
why I used to fight so much. Cause I'd be like, let me go. Like they'd be like, get your
And they'd be
arm
like,
off me. Like,
ah.
and they're looking at me like, it just grabbed me again, like, man, what's wrong with you? Like I'm like, ping, ping. Like I was fighting physically though. So that's even worse. I'm fighting with
Yo.
hands. I'm just like, but I'm because it was always some creepy stuff. But I used to, that's how I learned
All
how to
right,
blend
so
in.
you know why I think they're like that. First of all, on the other side, like there's no filter. So like whatever you think and everything's accepted. So you can just like touch and do whatever like all the time. So like a lot of times that's just normal activity there. But another thing is some of these, not every soul is advanced. Not everybody that you're gonna run into on the other side. It's just like here. It's just like going into New York City. Now you can go into New York City and talk to the smartest person ever that has all this wisdom, or you can go into New York City and talk to somebody that doesn't have a clue of what's going on. It's just there, like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Souls on the other side are like the same thing. So sometimes you may run into somebody and they just like, I don't know what experiences that you guys have had, but you definitely have never been a human.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You be like,
Yeah.
I'm moving like a moving weird. Like it's weird. Like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I know what
yeah.
you're
Being a
talking about.
human does add like a certain thing to you for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, man. But all right, so where were you before we got
So
sidetracked? You
yeah,
remember?
I got ADHD. I jump subject real quick. But
Yeah.
what was I talking about that?
um
Oh the
yeah, we were talking oh the house that you go to frequently
yeah,
and
I
you
would,
said that and then you said that people touch you and things like that. Yeah.
yes. So I had to learn to not really, I had to learn how to blend in, act normal. Like so it's like almost like it's almost like you dimming your light a little bit, but it's just like, and I don't know how I was doing it, but I would make myself blend in. I had to look at my feet. I did it the first time. I looked at my feet and I imagined some shoes and made the shoes come on, the clothes come on, like because I
Oh,
was
you were this ball of light. You were this ball of light,
yeah,
right? So you actually were a ball of light.
yeah. So I'm like, I need
Oh.
to make myself look human, like or how they look. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't know I was looking
yeah.
like that. I'm thinking I'm regular because I'm feeling like I'm regular. But then I didn't look at myself. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he said that, he was like, you don't know how to you look, do you? I was like, what do you mean? Oh, damn. He like, look like a ball of light. so, so,
Yo.
I'm just basically a ball of light. I'm an orb walking around this motherfucker. A big ass orb.
They probably looking at you like, what's wrong with this dude? What you do? You know?
Hey, for
Yo, it's
real. Like,
crazy.
I done had some crazy stuff. Like, man, it's so jumbled up in here.
You like, man, I gotta fit in, man. Damn, let me get some shoes. Yo, and it's so funny. It's so funny to me because like when you out of your body, your thoughts are like crazy. It's like, oh shit, maybe I do gotta do this.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I
all
came
right,
out my
let
out
me
of
get
I
some.
had an out of body one time and I was butt
Yeah.
naked. Like I'm like you it feel physical, so you ain't thinking like I'm in an out of body. So you know what? Hey, I'm naked. I'm in an out of body. No, you'll be like,
Yeah.
hold up. Why am I butt naked and outside? Like I done floated down. like why? Like why?
Yeah, yo, because it's like it's no different than here, guys. Like I'm trying to tell you, it's no
Yeah,
different than here. It's like when you are out of your body and you outside, you gonna have the same thoughts because you might even
yeah,
think that you might really be alive. Like
yeah.
you
For
outside,
real.
maybe like hold up, I'm there. Yeah, yeah,
For real.
yeah.
Like, you feel the wind blowing. You like, hold up. I feel a little too. Hold up. I'm butt ass naked
Yeah, a little
outside.
too.
Like you waiting for somebody
Yeah.
to say something to you. Like, hold up.
Oh.
Hey, bro, what you doing out here naked? Like, try to float up. You ever try to fly? You ever try to fly, even though you know you can fly, but you try to fly and you go up in the air and you just come right back down. Like,
Yeah, yo,
like
I was fighting the Joker one time. All right, so I'm fighting the Joker one time. So I'm in this out of body. I'm in this store in like New York City. Now there's some bad. I was just chilling right at this time. I done had a couple out of bodies. I was like, let me just chill and just see like what's the environment like. So like I'm in like this little corner store type place. You know, what I mean, I'm in there. I'm stunting right. There's some baddies in there. I'm talking to them. Like I was. It was like everyday life, bro. And I'm I'm in there talking to the baddies and stuff. And then next thing you know, we like, all right, let's go outside. There's like, yo, let's show you some let me show you some places. So we go outside. As soon as I step outside, why I see the Joker, bro. I see the Joker, and I'm like, oh God, man, let me fight this motherfucker. So he's on the street, right? And I'm like, all right, so what you want to do? Like, you trying to fight me? Like, I gotta, I'm like, I'm about to protect these baddies. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to protect them.
yeah,
That was my mindset, right?
yeah, I'm checking
I'm
my
like, nah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
mine.
I'm like, yo, I'm about. I'm like, yo, all right. I'm like, all right. So I gotta protect them. So the Joker starts shooting at me. I feel one bullet go through me. I'm like, oh, this ain't nothing, man. I'm out of my body. You can't shoot me. So I try to fly,
Yeah,
right? And now I'm flying. I'm flying, shooting them back. You know what I mean? I'm stunting. I'm stunting now because you know the girls is watching me. I'm out here showing out. I'm like, I'm flying, I'm shooting them back. And then next thing I know, bro, out of nowhere, I just can't fly no more. I'm like, oh, what? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. And then and then I'm down on the ground, and then the Joker's coming. I'm like, ah, man, you know what I mean? And then the Joker starts coming, and then I ended up actually like losing my focus there, and I ended up coming back to my body. But yeah, sometimes,
yeah.
man, yeah, I have been flying and not been able to
That used to
fly
make me
for sure.
mad because I used to do that when I was real scary. When I was real scary, every time I would see something, if I couldn't like fight it, I'd just fly away. Like see him trying to grab my foot or something and just be flying. But one time I did that, and I just floated right back down. I'm like, oh no, no, go back up. Like, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff you experience in this out of body stuff that you just be like, man, like I done did so much stupid stuff. Like I told you, I was a crash. I was like the out of body crash out. Like I would go to that place where I told you in the deal where they like standing there asleep. Like they just be standing there. And I'll be waking them up. They be looking at me like, who is you? So I associate that with so I associated that with people coming out because I would come out here, I would come out like that all the time. And then I'll just be looking around. I might transition to another experience. So I associated that with people going to sleep, going there and then just falling into like this dream state. So I started when I would come there, I would just start shaking people up. I see them like that. I'd be slapping them. Wake up. Like you sleep. Getting this out of body so I can have somebody to talk to. Hey, you know you in a dream. You want to out of body, right? They like, man, I don't want to hear that. Go right back to sleep. Like,
Yeah, it's and that can be like so that can be a couple things. That can be souls that like actually crossed over, or it can be like people that are alive but are just in the out of body state and like on autopilot. it's like when you're
Yeah.
on autopilot, like you don't really know like what's going on. That can
Hmm.
be it can be a couple different things for sure. But yeah, man, that's crazy. So, and a good depiction for people if you want to visibly know like what he's speaking about. So there's a scene in, I believe it's called the movie Soul, the
So
cartoon movie Soul,
I know what you're
where
talking
they're just
about.
like walking around and they're just like don't really know what's going on. This is also depicted in What Dreams May Come. There was a
Yep.
scene when he was in the lower realms and they were just like walking around like lost, like not really knowing what's going on. This is why I say
Hmm.
it's so important to consciously wake up in this life
Yeah.
because when you pass, if you're sleeping, you don't really know or have motivation. It's all based off free will. So if you don't have, the common sense enough to be like, all right, let me wake up and go do something, you won't.
Hmm.
You won't. You know what I mean? You can just be,
Yeah.
and it's not really bad or anything. Like people might be like, oh, that's so horrible. Well, it's not really because it's up to you. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
you're just creating it for yourself. And when you're ready, you'll break out of it. But
Hmm.
those things do happen and they do exist. And when you see it, it's kind of like, oh damn, man, But I
It
can I
kind of
can
sad.
guarantee you that, yeah, 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 it is. But I can guarantee you that um, everybody here watching this, you guys don't need to worry about it. Obviously, you guys are awake enough to one, be learning about the other side and out of bodies.
Hmm.
So two, chances are very likely that this will not, no way, shape, or form help you. And I kind of felt bad for my friend too when he was, like I said, he's been passed away for a long time, man. He's been passed away for a long time, and
Hmm.
he was in this space. Every time I see him, he's just like in this space, and I just know it's like in the lower realms compared to the other side. So it's in realm
It's
one,
like, bro, you
but
can
just a different
experience so much
dimension,
better.
so much more. Yeah, but he was good. He was good in there. He was happy.
Hmm.
So I was like, all right, what I mean, if you happy, ain't no
Yep.
sense in I can't make you more happy. If you
One of
already
my
happy,
friends,
then
that made me think about my friend. One of my partners, he when I seen him, he was like in this hood environment, and now he was doing some hood activities. And I'm like, bro, you can get up out of here. And he like, I like it here. And I'm like, what? I'm like, hey, you sure? Like,
all
I'm like,
right,
you can.
bro.
I'm like, I can't do nothing for you. You like this
Yeah,
ignorance,
man.
like, because
That's
there's some
that's
places
why I
out there that
say,
just they
yeah, that's why I
just.
say it's so important. If you free your mind, you free your soul. And it's funny
Mhm.
that you said he was doing some hood activities because that must be like what he liked. Like there's people that just like
Yeah,
that.
they
So when you
gravitate
die,
toward their
if you like,
energy.
yeah, if you like that, that's where you'll be. And that's like with my friend. Like he was doing the same thing that he was doing here. He was always partying. There was always some girls involved, and there was always like some drugs involved, or some drinking, or like some party and stuff. So like
Mhm.
that's just what he likes. So that's
Yep.
where he's at you know yeah, so there's tons of, it's literally anything that you enjoy you can do. Now
Yeah.
for me, for example, I gravitate, I like some hood stuff too every once in a while, but like to dwell there, nah. I'm more
Yeah.
like, I like intellectual things, so like you can catch me in a library sometimes on the other side,
Mhm.
things that obtain knowledge and things like that, in the higher realms. But
Yeah.
there is still there is still my man says that he stays having a hood OBE. um, but yeah, man. So what's some other experiences, and we'll see if this
Uh,
triggers some of mine. It's and I
I
know what
had
you
the one
mean. When
where,
you're thinking about it, you forget. You forget sometimes.
yeah,
Go ahead.
it's like I done had, yeah, like you, it's they all scrambled up in here somewhere. That's why I be like the ADHD kind of help come out. But I done had so many. Like the one where the angels came down and I was, but this was weird. This was different. I was like, you know how you say you watching yourself, like not watching yourself, but it's like you living this life, like you're in that life. So I'm like in this uniform, the military uniform. We like going on a mission, and we going on. Next, we going into this building. While we going to this building blows up. Boom! Now I'm flying in the air, and while I'm flying in the air, I land down onto this in this realm. It's like I couldn't see far, almost like I was on this flat plane, like a flat plane, and it was just like you could see stars and different colors in the sky, and it was one tree, and I'm with a few other people, and we just standing there looking like where the hell, like, where we at? Now I'm thinking to myself like, think I might have died or something. But I'm looking up and I see a bunch of stars in the sky. And I'm like, that look pretty cool. Next, I see the stars coming. I'm like, oh, like damn, what is that? I see it closer. Next, this big golden thing drop down to the ground, boom, with this big old deal. And I see the angels come down. I'm like, I know I'm messed up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I know I'm messed up. I kneeled down on my knee, like, oh yeah, look at I see it come down, one come down, he grabbed the other one, and I'm looking. The one come down in front of me, I'm kneeling down like I don't know what to do. I'm kneeling down. And I look up, he like, get up. Like, why you kneeling? And I get up. Because I'm thinking like, he's supposed to kneel down. I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh, he gotta take me somewhere bad. No. but like, but I'm like, but I'm like, I get up. He like, you ready? And I was like, shit, I guess so. Like, what's up? Like, he grabbed me like this, and he tried to fly
I don't
up.
know what I'm ready
When
for.
he tried to fly, yeah, I don't know what I'm ready for, but I'm ready. Like, just don't take me
Like, what I'm
nowhere
ready
bad.
for.
But he tried to fly off, and we like jump up in the air. We land back to the ground. He said, you got to fly, right?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I just flew up. It's like he was like, "They use all this dead weight." He's like, "Hold up, fly." You can fly. Get up. So we go up,
Yeah.
and next as we going up, we get to the stars, and I like fade out. And I wake up in the bed. So I'm thinking I wake up for real in real life. So I just wake up in the bed and I'm like stretching it. You know how you wake up normally. I'm like thinking I done woke up for real. Like, all right, I done got up. And then I look out it's a window right by me. I look out I'm like, oh, I ain't got no window right by my bed. So I look out and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm still in the outer body. So I hop up and I go to the front room. I'm like, I done got here by some angels. Like, I go to the front room. There's a girl sitting there. And there's another girl sitting there. I'm like, where the hell am I at? Like, I'm in some random house with random people just walking around. I'm like talking to them. I can't remember exactly what I was saying to them, but I'm like, oh, what's going on? So we go up there and come to the house, and he like, I need some people to go back to Earth. And I'm like, go back to Earth. So I'm like, I am dead. So I'm like, go back to Earth. So like, I must be. I said, shit. He like, I need somebody to do a mission. I need somebody for a mission. And it was like, he said the scriptures have been the scriptures have been taken tampered with. They're trying to destroy the scripture or something like that. And he like some evil people or something like that. So I'm thinking, he say mission. I'm thinking I'm gonna be some warrior going down there with superpowers, and this is my mind going while I'm in it. I'm thinking I'm about to go down there and I'll be like, yeah. And then I'm like, I'm like, I go like shit. I'm cool. Then I thought about it. Woke up from. I said, I think I signed up to come back. Like,
yeah. Yeah. All right. So this is so. All right. So this is exactly what it's like. So when you on the other side. This is exactly what it's like. All right. This is why a lot of you guys are here for this mission now. When you're on the other side and you're in your infinite almighty stage, this is funny, but it's real. When you are in your almighty, knowing, powerful you and your eternal soul. Now he was still in forgetfulness, obviously, because he was in an out of body. But that's exactly what it's like. It's just like, all right, some people got to go back to Earth because Earth is still messed up. You know what I mean? They still lying out there. They still, they still entrapping people. And then you'd be like, oh, I'll go. And then you find yourself here, and then you here in a human life for 80 years, and you're like, damn, why the fuck I come?
I made the wrong decision. Hey, I ain't never doing this again.
Yeah.
As soon as you get back, like, man, that was kind of cool.
And then I find out, and then I'm having out of bodies and shit. So now I'm back on the other side. I'm back in the memories. I'm meeting the people that I was with before I was here and stuff. And I'm like, damn, motherfuckers came here and they had help. I was like, yeah, motherfuckers, y'all set up y'all spirit guys to come and help you. To really, really help them. Like Matthias De Stefano, like he set his up to like really help him wake up and remember. I was like, well, damn, if I would have known that, I would have made it a lot more easy,
Yeah.
So you just be finding out stuff like man, But yeah, a lot of us, that's a perfect example of like making a conscious decision to come back. It's just like that. Like, oh yeah, you need help on Earth? I'll go. Boom. And then
Yeah,
you get here, and then you fall back into time, and it's like, oh man.
like
And then when you
I
leave,
messed up.
it goes by like a blink of an eye. Yeah. Like, all right,
Yep,
thank God, thank God, thank God
yep.
that's over.
I done had the
Thank
one
God
where
that's
I was kicking and screaming too. They like, you got to go back. I'm yelling, no, ain't nothing but drama down there, pain and suffering. I don't want to go back. I'm like, what? I was just swimming in a cloud pool. I don't know what this was, but it was amazing. But like I was free. I was sitting there just going hard and just swimming and stuff. I'm like, I don't even know what this liquid is. It looked like a cloud. He like, you gotta go back, right? Huh? Gotta go back? Yeah, you gotta go back. Man, I don't want to go back. he like, he like, wait, he goes, hey, why you tripping? This is an honor. This is a privilege. Like, it's a good thing. I'm like, nah, buddy, you don't know what's down there. You must ain't been. I've been struggling all my life. I understand.
yeah.
Nah, they send my ass back every time. They like, nah, they say they can't get stuck out their body. Like they see me out my body, they like, get back in there. Get your ass back in. Your ass
Get
out
back in the
fighting
game and
shit.
play. Get back.
Can't even see your spirit guys to you because you trying to fight them and stuff. Like you could have seen your high self already, but you done tried to fight him 7 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, we trying to help you, bro, but you just out here fighting people. Like, you gotta stop.
I was choking stuff out. Get back up, nigga. Nah, I'll quit. I done got a lot better though now. But years ago, nah. Don't come to me talking about higher self. After that one I had with the one that came to me looking like an angel. Nah, he was trying to turn over and let me work on your energy. I'm like, man, why y'all keep coming to me? Like, what? I'm trying to ask some questions. Why y'all keep coming to me? Like, who am I? Like, why y'all doing this? And he like, just roll over and let me work on your energy. And I'm like, why you want to work on my energy? I've been asking questions. He like, you know what? I'm tired of this. He said, I'm tired of y'all asking all these questions. You want to know who you are? You want to know who you are? He said, you're a protector and you're one of the best. And that's why I need your energy. And I was like, what? Hold up. I hopped up out the bed so fast, slung him across that wall. Hey, I wrap him up, send him on his way. Yeah, I ain't doing this. But
Yeah, yeah.
had me nervous because I'm like,
That's good because you need to ask questions. This is another good point. So there's
mhm,
there's a lot of good points in these experiences, and this is oftentimes why we come back and we tell you guys the things that we tell you guys. It is important to ask questions. Don't
yeah,
just believe anything blindly. I don't care if somebody tells you don't go there. Why? You have to
yeah,
consciously be thinking. Don't be native and just going with the flow. Stand in your ultimate authority because you are. Nobody can make you do anything unless you want to or unless you believe they can. And what does believing they can look like? Oh, you want to heal my energy? Okay, I guess, because you're looking up to it as some higher being than you. No,
yeah.
you don't have to do any of that.
You done just
These are
laid
all
down and just my
yeah.
energy. Mother sitting there just draining the hell out you. Like you wake up tired and shit. Why
Yeah.
am I so tired?
Yeah.
I'm just tired and angry. Right.
Yeah, and everything is always okay because this is so temporary. Everything here is
Yeah.
temporary. Everything experienced on the other side is temporary. Everything here is temporary. The only truth is that we all return back to the eternal aspect of ourself and all of our pleasures and desires. At the end of the day, that's where we all return back to. So everything else that you
Mhm.
experience here is so temporary. And you see how quick he was to jump back and come back to earth, right? That's a perfect example. You see how quick he was to jump back and come back to earth because it's like, all right, I'll just go down there real quick. Now for me, and I'll give you another example of that. So for me, when I came back, it was like, all right, I was in my ultimate authority. I was moving like in like full like remembrance type. Like I was like, all right, I'm a god. I remember who I am. Like I was coming from like that perspective at this time. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, a human? I was like, being a human's easy. I can do that. I can do anything. I'm a god, right? That was like my perspective. So I and then you
No,
come
like
back,
no
man.
judge.
Yeah, and then you come back, and now for a couple of days, I'm embodying that whole energy because this was an out of body. This wasn't like this wasn't in between
Hmm.
lives. Like this was an out of body. So when I come back, I'm like, I'm embodying this energy for a couple of days, right? I'm moving like a guy. I'm not eating. I'm like, I don't even need to sleep. I was like, I'm just here,
I can
bro. You know
eat
what I
the
mean? For
wind.
like, yeah, I could eat the wind. I could do anything. I could fly. You know what I mean? For like 4 or 5 days, I'm embodying this whole energy. I'm embodying this whole energy. You know what I mean? For like 4 or 5 days. And it was not until I had a conversation with my dad, and that shit fucked me all up. I'm like, wait, this, and then he said some things like that like be careful. I was like, yo, I'm about to go back and tell the world about this. He was like, be careful. He was like, they're gonna kill you before you get your book out. He was like, get your, and then he told me a story about some guy trying to expose secrets and they killed him before he could release his book. And I'm like, man, whatever. And then at the time, though, the thought that brought me from that God mode back to earth mode and started feeling hungry and shit again was
Yeah.
I had the thought of like, oh yeah, this is my dad. I was like, oh yeah, I'm a
Mm.
human right now. And that train of thought alone was enough to get me off of that frequency and to put
Yeah.
me back into my physical body. And I was just like, damn, man, here I go again. Now I gotta eat.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I gotta sleep.
Now
I
I gotta
gotta
feel
do
how
all this
heavy
again.
you feel how
Yeah.
heavy this body is. You ever leave you come back in your body and feel your body and you be like, man, this don't feel like shit. Like
Yeah,
it feels
bro.
like you
I
feel
came back one time. I'm like, man,
like
yo,
ew.
being a human is so hard. It's so hard. Like you actually got to walk up these steps. You got like you physically got to walk up each and every step, and it's like, yo, this is crazy. Like, why
Yeah.
are we living like this? You know, like
Mm.
yeah, it's
Like this is
all of
like
those
we choose
sensations.
this. I gotta feel all these
Yeah,
bones
bro.
popping when I wake up.
Bro,
Like what
yeah,
the fuck
like
is this? Like yeah.
I came back from an out of body one time and I'm at work and I'm like, all right, I gotta open up my email. Bro, I was so out and because I was out there for a long time. You know, you ever been gone for so long out of your body, you come back and you just get used to like how it was out of your body because you just spent like what felt like years
Hmm.
over there. And then you come back and then it's like, all right. And then I came back, I was like, all right, I gotta open up my email. So I just say email and the shit don't open up. I'm like, why is my email not opening up? I
Yeah, what's
said
that
email. Like, why
technology
is it
was
not
advanced.
what's going on? And then I was like, all right. And then I was like, all right. Oh, I gotta type it in. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta type it in. I'm on Earth. I gotta type it in. I'm like, all right. So I type in the word email and it still don't pop up. I'm like,
Hmm.
what is going on? Why is this not popping up? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's Gmail. It's not email. I gotta actually type in Gmail. And then we gotta think in so many layers here as humans, and that's what makes it so difficult. And
Hmm.
that's why it's so important for us to get out of our logical thinking minds and step into the feeling, the heart space. I finally understand when they
Hmm.
say you got to step into the heart. This means like you got
Yeah.
to feel things, your feelings, your emotions, your
Oh yeah.
intuition, because that's the natural language of the universe. This logical mind that we have here, it's not really that. It's conditioned to be here because we have to think in so many different steps all the time, consistently. Before you
Hmm.
do anything, there's a process for you to get there, and your human brain has to think in those steps, and that alone
Yep.
limits you. Everything is mental. We manifest our reality, so your thoughts do limit you. And it's so
Yep.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fact. Just like when you're on
Yeah.
the other side, when you're having that out of body, and you manifest some stuff. Like you can manifest things that's really quick. Do it the same here.
Mhm.
It's just a little slower when it, but you can speak. The more you do it, you'll start realizing how fast. Like if you write that stuff down, at least for the people that's on here, you write down what your goals is and all that stuff, and don't even look at that notebook. Just put it up, and then give it about a year and just look at that notebook. You'll be like, I manifest most of this stuff on this list fast.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another good point, man. That's another good
Yeah.
point, man. For sure.
This
All right. So now we talked about some of your earlier experiences and like where you were and what it was like. And it was so I love hearing those, man. Cause like I resonate with it so much because I know what you're thinking and I know what you're going through in those moments. It's like when you was a ball of light, you was like, oh, maybe I should be a human. And because your
yeah.
thoughts, it's like you think the same, but the way you think when you're out of your body, it's also different. Like you don't think like with your
Yeah.
brain and your logical, it's like you think like a kid again, but like you're not. It's
Yep.
like
I think we
It's
got
like
this
that. Like, that's
misconception.
the best way I can
They
put it.
they
Yeah.
they make it seem like they make it seem so airy fairy sometimes that I think that if I'm having this experience, I'm supposed to be like really like just you know what I'm saying. Like I'll be like I'm still goofy in the outer body. That's how I found out that when I thought that something was attacking me when I was having an outer body. I mean a sleep paralysis. When I had the mind split effect and I was pinching myself and I slapping myself while I'm laying on the bed. I'm like that was me the whole time because I'm sitting there scared of my own self. I'm just laying there. What is his figure standing over me? Touching me and stuff. Next, you know, my
And it's
consciousness
you
shift and it's
out of
me.
your body.
I'm like, not slap my like, wake up. Are you scary? Ain't you? You scary? And I'm like,
Yeah, yo, yo.
and
So
being
that's so
terrified.
true. So this is all right. So this is another good point, man. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So when I tell you that the other side and beings, they don't. It's just a joke. It's just like it's not a joke. It's very serious, but
Yeah.
it is funny because they know you are eternal. They know everything's going to be okay. So like they may come
Hmm.
up to you like when you come out and you might see a being over you or in your face or doing something crazy. It's just because it's just like here. Just because you were in forgetfulness, they aren't. They remember.
Yeah.
So it's like, and you was doing it to yourself. You was like, oh,
Yeah.
you scared. Look at this. Look at it. Look at me. Look at me in the human. Look at me in the human form, scared and shit.
Yeah. Little scary
You know what I mean?
human.
Let me.
Oh, oh, wake up. Why I can't move? I woke up one
Yeah.
time. I mean, I'm in sleep paralysis. I hear radio frequencies going through my ears. And I'm like, what is that noise? I turn to the side. I look. It's this big black statue. Look like the is that the Oscar? Like the big muscular. But he's kneeling down by the
Mm.
bed, just looking at me. Now he's kneeling down, but he still look like he's standing up. This how big this dude was. I look to the side and I see him. He looking dead at me. And I'm like, when I see him, I'm like, oh hell no. Like, please don't move fast. So I'm like, I'm about to panic because I'm like, this he's solid and it's sunny outside. So all I'm seeing is this big black, he about the same color as this onyx. And he just sitting there. And in my head, I'm like, please do not move fast. Because if he move fast, I'm gonna panic, have a heart attack, and die. But as soon as I said that, he just looked at me and he turned, moved real slow back. He backed up and then he stood up and he just said "Shoo," and just vanished. Like it's like he heard me. It was like, I don't want to scare him, so let me move back slow. So I was like, okay, so it ain't no situation where he was trying to attack you or nothing. But yeah, it's you'll see a lot of stuff. I done seen a horse walk in my room before. You see
Yeah, man.
somebody like a horse, a damn horse turned to a woman after that.
I I
Like,
tell people like I done seen things I don't even know what they are to this day, and like I'm in this space. Like this is all I think about. This is all I work on every day. I still don't have a human
mhm.
word to put to like what I seen.
Yep, yep.
There's still things like that. You know, but yeah. So I heard seen one video of you, and this is something I've never experienced. So maybe this is a learning opportunity for me. I seen you speaking about Mall World. What
Small
what
world.
what is Mall World? I seen you say something
I don't
about that. What
really
is it?
I see it like when people talk about mall world, I don't look at it how they look at it, and I could be wrong. That's why I tried to explain in video. Like I could be wrong about it because they call it mall world because they feel like they be stuck in this mall, and then they did like a little map of it where they like, okay, I'm it's these places, this places, little amusement park, all these places. Now, a lot of people go to it, but they don't go around. Like when you start having out of bodies or you start lucid dreaming, once you start knowing what you're doing, you start to see more. You know what I mean? You start to actually be able to
Mhm,
go to more place or be able to look outside of that place to see in it. You know what I mean? I don't know if it makes sense, but
mhm.
you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
more
You
and
can
you
see more
realize
of it. Yeah,
like you realize more like this is not just a dream. Like it is. It's like it's almost like to me, but this is just a personal opinion. This could be wrong. So to me, it's like collective consciousness, like all together, like people's just what been
mm,
creating and throwing in this
yeah.
place. And it's like people get there and you like people will be in the mall and they'll just be like walking around like it's like when I have it like when I was like young, it's like you walking around, you got this sense of urgency. It's like I need to buy this or I need to do this, I need to do that. Like it's like But then when you snap out of it, like, hold up, I'm in a dream. You're like, oh, I kind of kick it. It's kind of cool. You got the mall, you got food courts, you got all kind of stuff, but you go in that bathroom, the bathroom look disgusting. You try to use the bathroom, it's shit on the floor, shit on the wall. You're like, God damn. But that's how like most people will see it, like because they'll be in
Yeah.
a dream and they go to use the bathroom and they'll be walking around like you trying to use the bathroom, but you walk over shit like, man, I gotta use the bathroom bad as hell. But there's shit everywhere. The bathroom is all messed up. But it's like neighborhoods. I look at it as like being a part of what y'all realm one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people they tend to get lost in it. That's like I was talking about it on one of my like video you was talking about,
Yeah.
and
I see
somebody
what you're
said
saying. Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
he might not be going to mall world. And I'm like, if I'm not, look, I'm fine with that because that place that we go to, there's more out there. It's way more that you can experience. So that place,
Mhm.
that's like a, like a, how can I say like
A
just a,
dirty, low place. Like, get out of there. Break out of there.
yeah, get out of there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And
you don't need to be in there.
so, so now there are thought forms that the collective creates for sure. Now, I've never been to Mall World personally, but I have seen certain things like this, right? Now,
Hmm.
now they do collect things, and yeah, it is your subconscious thoughts. That's just why I say, like, you can be unconscious or you can be conscious the whole time you're on the other side. I don't care if
Yeah.
you're dead, I don't care if it's an out of body or what. You can be conscious or you can be unconscious. And
Yep.
when you're unconscious, you are going to have those feelings where, like, oh, I got to do this. Have you ever had a dream where, like, you just constantly got to do something and nothing's working, and it's like,
Hmm.
anytime that happens, snap out of it and know that you are
Yep.
either in a dream or in your dimensional space, because nothing works like that. Everything can be gravy, for sure. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah,
Somebody
man.
said,
Yeah.
"Oh, Chris stealing cars in Alabama." Yeah, I'll be driving
Oh,
everybody's car.
not about. Yeah, we talk about that. What's that like?
Nah,
What you be
just been
doing
like
out,
a.
out
Have you ever done it? Like just hopped in a random car, like when you came out your body.
Nah, man. So one time, the only time I ever drove a car in my out of body, I was in I was in Neo Soul and I'm driving the car. I was actually sleeping in my car, bro. I was like, what the hell I'm doing in this life? Why I'm sleeping in my car? I was like, me and my wife must be fighting. I was like, damn, man. Why I'm out here sleeping in my motherfucking car. But anyway, I was like, yo, but anyways, you know what I mean? I had a whole setup and I had a pickup truck. I had a whole setup. Now,
Yeah.
so I'm like, all right. So then I was driving the car. And then it hit me. I was like, damn, I don't know how to drive here. I was like, I don't know how to drive here in Neo So because the roads was different. The
Yeah.
roads was different. It was expensive. It was like 8, 10 lane highways. And it was like, and the
Hmm.
cars were new, they were different. I'm like, damn, I don't even know how to drive here. So I'm driving. I got my little daughter in the car with me. You know what I mean? I'm driving.
Hmm.
And the next thing you know, I'm like, oh, I'm going the wrong way. And I hit a pole. Bow. And I'm in an accident. I'm like, oh man, this is bad.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is bad. But that's the only time I was in a vehicle driving,
No,
specifically.
it be
I've been
it's
in
pretty
ships though.
weird.
I've been in ET ships. Huh?
Oh yeah, I've done that. I've done that, but I wasn't driving it though. I was just in that
Yeah, I
sucker
wasn't driving it.
with these
Yeah.
beings. I don't know who they was. I just know they look different as hell. Like this dude green, this girl purple, this dude look like I don't know what the hell he is, but we know each other. Like we cool. We doing missions and all kind of stuff. I don't know what like we captured this being. I don't know what we captured some ugly. It might have been an animal, but it looked like something. I can't even describe it. So I didn't go. But yeah, but I started taking. I was a car thief a little bit because I used to see a car because I used to think out of bodies. When I thought of out of bodies, I was like, I'm dreaming out of body. I left my body, so I'm gonna come back. So what they gonna do to me? You know what I'm saying? So if I get away with it, like I was young. You know what I'm saying? So I was young. So I would just get out there. You ain't even got to use a key. So I was like, I would get in the car and I'm like, I look at the deal. Back when I was younger, we didn't have the push starts and stuff. Like it was like, so I get out, I just twist it, and that's like a. I'm like, oh shoot, I could drive. But the thing about it is, like, you'll be driving, you might be driving good for a little bit. Next, that sucker will start lifting up. start flying. You sometimes it'll do that. You'll just start flying like, God dang, the car flying. But like,
Yeah.
I was trying to block a little bit, but like, I couldn't do that. Like, but
You-
but I used to steal everybody's car. But until one time I tried to steal a car and that sucker had an alarm on it. And I'm like, how you got an alarm in an out of body? That's crazy. Like, how you got a like we had an out of body. He like, I don't want no spirits and no spit, no biggest hopping in my whip. Like, come on, bro. Let me drive your car.
You could get another one real easy.
Yeah.
You get another one real easy.
But it's so bad though. Like when I was younger, when I was having them, it feels so real that it'd be like you'll be still having that same fear, like, oh, I hope nobody don't catch me. Until I got to a point where I was like, I don't give a damn. I got to a point where I was just like, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was just like, shoot, I'm in out of body. Let me just take this. They'll be looking me out, just dipping off in their whip, doing whatever I wanted to until one day I was in a house and I couldn't figure out how to get out this house. So I was like, let me just create a door. So I started making a door on the wall. And I was like, okay, I'll get out there. And I look back, it's like three people just looking at me like this. And I hear a voice in my ear say, Chris, stop it. And I'm like, what the hell was that? Like, I go through the door, I go downstairs, and I go outside this house. I start running down the street, jumping up in the air real high and landing back on the ground and jumping. And Chris, stop it. I'm like, who is that talking? I'm like, so I just keep on going. I lift the little kids up in the park, making them do backflips and stuff. Like, you want to play? She said, Chris, stop. she said, to them, she said,
To
to
them,
them,
this is real.
this is real. This is their reality. Like, you messing with their heads. I'm like, oh. She like, stop all that flying and trying to like.
Yeah.
So I like I don't know. The kid doing all kind of backflips in the air, just swinging them and stuff. She like, stop it. You messed up.
You
But nah,
messing up,
yeah.
dude. Stop it. That's not what it's about.
I used to being a fool,
Nah,
man. I didn't have no
I,
spiritual like way of looking at that back then. Like I used to just be like, I'm just having an experience, so let me just do what I do. I see somebody, I don't like the way he looked at me. Like, because because I used to have this thing. Like I remember I read when I finally got a chance to read whose book was that? It was somebody's book, and they was talking about don't let no entities stand behind you. So my how I took that, every time I seen something behind me, I was whipping ass. I'm like, oh, what you doing? Like you behind, like get from behind me. Like, nah, I was fighting. I thought I was Mike Tyson.
so all right. So the truth, all right. So there's a couple things I want to put out, but before I lose this one's important. Now, this is why I say don't listen to nobody until you experience it for yourself. Like you see how he read a book and then he's fighting people behind him. Don't that's horrible. So don't
Right.
listen to these people because I can promise you, every time I've sent someone was behind me and I look back, that's how I met Francis, my spirit guide, for the first time. I
Yeah.
just felt somebody was behind me. I looked back and I was like, "Oh, what's up, bro? Who are you?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm Francis." You know, so it could be your
Mhm.
spirit guide, it could be somebody there to help you, and more times, often than not, that's exactly what it is. So, like, don't listen
Yeah.
to nobody. Don't like. I don't care. You can listen to their experience, if it got scared
Mhm.
or something like that. But the ultimate truth that you guys need to know is that nothing can hurt, harm, or touch you unless you believe it to be so. You know,
Yeah.
and at first when you're having these experiences you will have these thoughts and these feelings and things like that, but after time you'll get used to it and won't nothing
It'll
worry
be so
about you.
regular. You'll be having them and
Yeah.
it be normal. It's like I was talking to my brother about it, and I was like, sometimes where I don't even feel like I went to sleep. It's like I'm just going to another place. I go to sleep and I'm just in another reality. It's like I just kick it. It's not no mind blowing experience, but I had them alone. It's just like I'm kicking it with this other family. Like, all right, let's go kick it. We just chilling in the house. Are we at a bar? Are we doing something like flying? Like I ain't gonna lie, flying is like in the clouds. I got scared one time flying in the clouds. That's why I say like now
Mm,
I don't be fearing none of that stuff, but that's why I say like people don't know what they fear sometimes until they experience it. That's how you conquer the
mm,
fear is by experiencing it. You got to
mhm,
step out there. You know, so that's why I be like
mhm,
listen to people, but don't take everything they say to face value until you experience it yourself. Because I was
mhm.
scary as hell when I first started having out of bodies. I'm good now, but I wasn't spiritual. Like in my mind, like I was just like having them. So it was like it was a natural experience for me, but it wasn't something that I was like researching to do. You know what I'm saying? I kind of wish I came in that way so I wouldn't have had so many but the pitfalls I had did make me better though. It did make me better. So
It
I don't
does
take
make you
nothing
a
from
lot of better, and now you're actually able to guide people in that aspect because you've had so many experiences now, right? And you were able to overcome them, and you were able to overcome them in your own way. So now you're actually able to guide people and help them, achieve this state and say, all right, well, you may feel this, you
yeah.
may feel that, you may experience this, you
Yeah.
may experience that. This is how I took it, and just I do know this 100% to be true. This is what I think about
Hmm.
this, things like that, and so
Yeah.
every part of the journey is special, man. The beauty is in the journey and who you become in the process.
And
It truly is.
and there was something else I wanted to talk about. I want to just bring up my own little, but the UFO, the aliens, the ETs, stuff like that. Like, cause
Oh yeah.
I haven't posted a video in a minute. And I wanted to tell the people, like, cause I told them on a video, I was like, I don't trust ETs. Now, because this was because of certain experiences, but I had an experience recently that made me kind of like maybe it's just me. You know what I'm saying? Well, I just didn't understand them or something because I had to. They showed me an experience that I had that where I was basically like they was following this girl around. Then I seen them spray this mist in her face. Like it was like she was running, like she was in a nightmare. She just running. I'm looking at them, but I'm like observing them. I'm seeing them follow them around. Like I'm like, what are they doing? Crawling on the walls and shit. So I'm like, this is creepy. See one get in front of her and spray something in her face, and next you know she's the reality changed and she's like in this beautiful place. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, they didn't tricked her. They done tricked her to see like some other reality. But I'm like, what are they doing to her? But they was saying that they was she was having a nightmare and they just switched her emotions. Now
Mm.
I wanted to ask you about that because I don't know because like I said, I don't be trusting the ET, so I wasn't really getting into it. So they were saying that they was changing her emotional state so that she would stop having a nightmare. And I'm like, where was y'all when I was having a nightmare? God dang. Like
Yeah.
like, I like,
Yeah.
but I'm like, is that
Now,
something that they do? Like,
so I haven't experienced nothing about that personally about ET, but I will say actually I have, but it was like I was in cahoots with it. Like I knew what was
mm,
going on. But I have heard stories of people in this space that I actually believe these stories that ETs do help and do things like that. But I believe it is like for sure. If that was your interpretation and that's what they said, it could very well be
mhm,
true. I would ask you in that instance, what was the feeling of it when they said that? Did it resonate with you? Did you
yeah,
feel it as if it was the truth, or did you feel like it was deception? And that's
yeah,
that's kind of how you can deteriorate if somebody's lying to you or if they're telling you the truth is by like what do you feel in that moment? Do you feel like it's the truth or do you feel like it's lying?
mhm.
And that will kind of differentiate it. But they do that. But I like when you said that you don't really trust the ETs, and I like that because nigga, I don't either. Now, and I hate this because everybody wants to be a star seed. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm a
Yeah,
Palladian. I'm this. I'm." You guys got these guys are low
yeah,
on the totem. You know what I mean?
yeah.
These guys are low on the totem pole. There's so many higher beings. The ETs are the
So they
closest
done it
beings.
just
They're the
yeah,
closest to humans. You know what I mean? So they got flaws too. The same way there's good humans and bad humans. There's good ETs, bad ETs. They're very low on the totem pole. They still experience duality too. Good, evil, good, bad. They still
yeah,
experience all of that. They're still in forgetfulness too. They just evolve to a certain point where they actually understand a little bit more about reality and how they can traverse the realms and things like that. But they are still very much so in forgetfulness as well. And they are advanced compared to humans.
Yeah.
Compared to a human, they are advanced for sure. But compared to you, your soul, like they are very low on the totem pole, you know. But
Hmm.
uh, yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
really
used to be
trust them. Mhm.
Yeah, I used to be jealous. People talking about when I was younger. I ain't jealous no more. When I was younger, I used to hear these
Yeah.
experiences. That's why I used to be like, "What did they experience, man? They seeing all this good ass." I seen this Palladian came to me, talked to me, said, "You ever?" I'm like, "I don't see none of this. Like, what do they see? How they seeing this?" Like, I'd be jealous. Like, damn. But then I'm over here. I'm in the hood. I'm saving people and stuff. Like, what? Like having like seeing your dead loved ones or dead friends and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Somebody said forethought, speak on being an architect, building a small city. Oh, we could talk about that if you want
Yeah.
to. Uh,
Yeah.
Well,
We can get into anything, man. This is free range, man. Whatever pops up and you feel called to speak
yeah,
on.
I actually did that on accident. Like the when I talked about that on the video, the like because anybody can do it when you have an out of body, because you can create your own reality basically. But what I did when I was in the out of body, I was outside and I looked up in the sky, and because I always would do this to look and see if the sun is out or the how many suns I see in the sky, or you know what I'm saying, how I look, what's in there, because there's always something flying up there. So I was looking up in the sky, and I'm looking at the clouds, and then I'm starting to see the clouds. You know how when you was a kid, you be looking at the clouds like this look like an elephant, that look like a car. Like I started basically doing that in the out of body. I'm like, what that cloud look like? And I started forming it, and I noticed it started forming into buildings, like in houses and stuff. I'm like, okay, that do look like a house. Now, as I'm looking at it, it's forming, but it still look like clouds, but they look like the buildings. Next, you know, it turned looking real. And when it turned to looking real, it looked like I was in the sky, looking down at the earth, and I just flew down into the reality that I just created with my mind. And when I flew down into
Mm.
this reality, I wasn't like I was when I was out of body. It was almost like I was just like a thought form just flying around. Like I was just like this inspect. Like you know what I mean? How can I say this? Like I wasn't a body. It was like I was just floating around. But I'm looking at people. I'm
Aspects
seeing babies
consciousness.
being
Yeah.
born. Yeah. And I'm just floating around. I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm like, this is pretty cool. I'm seeing babies being born. I'm poking people in the forehead because I'm like, because this is a weird thing. Like if you don't know about out of bodies, you know that you'll start to think like this is fairy, airy, fairy. You're like, oh, we spirits and we these translucent beings and this and that. You touching like you won't feel a bone. Now you feel bones and stuff. You be like, why I feel a bone on this person? Like I'm supposed to feel
Mhm.
this, and I'm supposed to be able to put my hand through this person's body. But yeah, so that those
Yeah.
just
So this is very important. I want to use this to speak to people because this is always a learning experience, right, for everybody. So you hear how Fourth Eye, when he's describing his experiences, he talks about sleep paralysis, as mentioned. You see how when he talks about touching things, he touches them and he mentions physicality. Now, oftentimes in this space, and this, I just seen somebody do an interview talking about he can open up a portal anytime and talk to God anytime. But then you listen to his experience, and it's an astral projection like experience, and here he is leading people to this. Now, I'm not taking nothing else against that experience because you're still outside of your consciousness is still outside of your body and things like that. But it is by far not at all what we are discussing. What we are discussing right now is true out of body experiences when your soul is outside of your body and you are leaving your body. And the process to get here is very difficult and it is not easy to do. Oftentimes, you have to induce sleep paralysis. I have been able to figure out other ways to just wake up in sleep paralysis, breaking out of lucid dreams and things like that. But the process to get there is very easy. It does take some time. Now, if anybody's sitting there telling you that, hey, I can get you this to this state in 20 minutes or less, it's crazy. I have been able to do
yeah,
it in like 10 or 15 minutes, but it took extreme focus and things like that. So I just want to
yeah,
say, if you're reaching for answers in this space, like I'm sure many of you are, like I was in the beginning, looking for people with answers, you have to be able to have discernment of who you are listening to. This is very important because many people are popping up now, and this is becoming a popular thing for people to come out and speak about now. But to have
Mm.
discernment on what you're learning and what you're experiencing it from, there are levels to it, and it is important to have discernment. And when you've had full blown OBEs, you can understand, okay, this guy's legit. This is what he's talking about. And that physicality that he just described is like, yeah, it is. It is very true. And it's a good point to speak out for sure.
Yep. Also, I'm thinking I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to read the comments at the same time. What they say?
Oh
Go ahead,
yeah,
can you
yeah. Go
speak?
ahead, man. Yeah, if you want to open it up to, we can open it up to a live Q&A at this time,
Okay, watching
if
TV
you
is a
want. And
commercial that often help to souls that didn't know they would. Oh, they talking about. I know what you're talking about. Um, this was an experience of me just basically talking to, okay, I just say the experience. So basically I had the out of body and I entered into this house that looked like one of my childhood homes that I grew up in. And it was these people there. Like when I went in there, I was just having a conversation with them inside this house. Now I didn't know at the time really that they was like, you know what I'm saying, lost souls or whatever. Not, well, they wasn't lost souls. They actually knew who they were, but when I was talking to the guy, he was telling me, he said, I died. And when I died, I couldn't cope with my death. So he said I could put my hands through my stomach and I could see my stomach. Now, I don't know what happened to him, but he was saying that that's what happened. He could see through his stomach because he couldn't cope with death. Now, remember, he couldn't, it all had to do with him making a decision to say, I accept this. You know what I'm saying? Or
yeah, it's
I
all
know what's
free
going on
will.
with me
Yeah.
now. Yeah. So
Hmm.
he was telling me about his mother. He said, my mother's still down. She's still in a lower state because she hasn't coped with death. Now I'm looking at a commercial. The commercial is like, you know how we got commercials with the medication and stuff where they be like, whoop de whoop whoop pill, whoop de whoop, the side effects, constant diarrhea, whoop de whoop reflex, all this stuff. But the commercials was about if you haven't coped with death, but it's not like medicine commercials. Have you not coped with death? Here's a whoop de whoop 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 whoop. But they all just sitting back, just watching TV, and I'm like, what the hell? What kind of shit is this?
Like
Sit
y'all,
to,
y'all still not waking up.
yeah, you got whole commercials. You got
Yeah,
commercials
got
in front
whole
of you.
commercials trying to wake y'all up. Yo, I'm telling you. And all right, so it's really like this. And what's really going on behind the scenes is this, right? Because everything is free will, right? We are constantly creating our reality. You can't just go and wake somebody up that doesn't want to. If you want to stay asleep, or if you don't even know it is, it's not like, hey, somebody can just pop in front of you and like, hey, come on, wake up and do this. That's stopping
Yeah.
you from free will, right? So
Hmm.
these people are in this state, but what you can do is drop little hints like, hey, have you coped from death? If you haven't, I can help you, like things
Yeah.
like that. It's crazy because people. Now, another example of this is, so my mom passed away, right? And when I was having out of body experiences, I was like looking for her. I was like, where are you? Like, where you at? Like, come on, I'm
Hmm.
out here. Like, I'm
Like,
leaving my
yes,
body.
what
I
you
know you're out here. Like, show me some stuff. You know what I mean? Like, show
Yeah.
me some stuff. Now, so the first time she came to me, I was in a dream, but it was like a very real dream, and I knew it was really her because I became aware in the dream, and then we were speaking, and I remember the conversation very vividly. Right, I remember the whole conversation, and it was all about out of bodies in the other side, because then she came to visit me, and she got hip to, oh, he's leaving his body, and there's more to the other side, and I actually told her like, hey, yeah, there's higher places, there's realms, you can do this and do that, and then after that, I freed her, and now then she was free to come and travel, and then that's when she started
Hmm.
popping up on me out of bodies, and we started like doing stuff together. So souls, it does take a little bit of time to readjust, because you have to understand that when you come into this life, you are in complete amnesia. your
Hmm.
soul your soul undergoes complete amnesia when you step in through that water to come into here. Your soul is in complete
Yeah.
amnesia, and then when
Yep.
you come out, it does take time for your memories to come back. It's like you got to wake up again. It's like waking up from a coma, or waking up,
Hmm.
or if you have an accident. It's like if you have an accident, it's actually a little stronger than a coma. It's like if you have an accident, and you lose your memory, and you lose your memory, and you can't remember anything, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, who am I? What's my name? And it takes some time
Hmm.
for you to come back to who you are. You know,
Yep.
it does take a long time for sure. But yeah, that's crazy. You actually seen commercials?
Yeah. I just see commercials. That's what's like trippy. I'm like, why they got commercials? Like, hey, have you coped with death yet? Do you think you're with the group, but you have love? Like, it was like I was just sitting back looking at it because I go, if I have an out of body and I see a TV, I'm up and just start watching it because you'll see TV shows and you'll be like, it'd be interesting because it's a movie called Ava that's out. It was
I
a
played
I had
2K. I played 2K in an out of body in a different
there
place that
like
was not
it's
Earth.
all kind of
Yeah,
yep yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
went to a place. The dude told me we was looking at these plaques on the side of this building. He was like saying everybody has a spirit sign, and I was like, "What's my spirit sign?" And he looked, and it was like showing me this picture of a sperm whale, this big ass whale. Damn, but I don't know what it means, though. But I was like, I'm cool with that. So we ended up flying up after he told me that people's spirit guides could look like they could be afraid of their spirit guides because their spirit guides might look a little crazy. But we flew up and we go into this. We in this place. It's like sunny. It look all good. He put like this thing on my foot and gave me like this little play toy gun and put a little thing on my arm. We walked around this place just playing video games this whole time, just shooting some random little like it's like I don't know. I'm like, where am I at? He talking about this the ultimate. I'm like, well, what's the ultimate? Like, where am I from? Like, he like, you don't want to go
Like this
back
the
there. I'm
ultimate. Like you don't know. Like you don't know. Like you don't know. Like this the
like,
ultimate, bro. Like what you mean
yeah.
you don't know?
Then I
Yeah.
had one where it started off like I was starting in the whole game, like where I seen the grid and everything, and it said one. Two, I'm like, what the fuck is it? Like, I just came up about it. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, why am I seeing this like a video in three? Like, it looks like a video game in it. And I'm like, how the hell? Like, you never know what you're gonna experience when you leave your body. You just got to be prepared for whatever. Like,
Yeah. 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 All right, so Kathy says, please go more into the physical. I have always believed nothing can harm you unless you believe it to be so. Is Fourth
no,
just potentially get injured?
no, I'm not saying. I know. I don't. No, no, you
No,
can't be
he's
harmed
not.
when you're in the
So,
outer body. No.
so I think you were talking about, how it was physical and people were smacking you and things like that. It doesn't hurt. Like I've been
Yeah, it don't
shot by
hurt.
the Joker
It'll
out of
feel
my
like
body.
a. It'll feel
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
thud, like it don't. I ain't never been hurt in an out of body experience. Let's
yeah,
say
yeah.
that.
It's never gonna
That's
hurt you.
why
There's nothing to fear, guys. There's
I
literally
know.
nothing to fear. It's you see how we're over here laughing and joking so much because it's the most freeing feeling you can have. You're on the other side.
Mhm,
Think of your heaven. Think of all of your pleasures. Think of you being able to do anything that you want. You can pick people up, move them. You can literally,
mhm,
you are a god, literally. There is literally nothing to fear besides fear itself, because literally
yeah.
your own fear can curate a bad experience for you. So remove all fear. Nothing can hurt, harm, or touch
Mhm,
you. Nothing can entrap you. It's all fun and games, really. I mean, once you even the bad experiences, once you come back from them, if you had a bad experience, like in the beginning, I'm sure you were fighting things
yeah,
that you didn't know.
yeah.
Even when you come back to the physical, it's like, oh damn, I was fighting this.
I be laughing
you know
about it when I wake up.
yeah,
Like, damn, I was still. I
yeah,
got punked and stuff in the outer bodies. Had
yeah.
somebody. I remember it was this.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was this. It was this crazy looking thing, and I'm thinking like I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to manhandle this dude, like beat him up. And I tried to beat him up, and this thing was strong. So he just grabbed my ass and threw me. He didn't like hurt me. He just threw me back, and I'm like, "Wake up, wake up, wake up!" Nah, he too strong. It was because I was trying to fight him physically. See, I didn't know back then. Like my strength wasn't me trying to fight him physically, even though he probably wasn't even trying to harm me. I was just ignorant. So I want y'all to understand when I'm talking about these experiences. A lot of these experiences I'm talking about when I was younger. So, like when I'm
Hmm.
talking about being afraid and fighting and all that stuff, a lot of that happened when I was younger. Some of these experiences, some of the recent experience, I don't think I had too many negative experiences throughout. Like, shoot, in a while, I haven't had real bad experiences. And if they do be negative, I kind of just laugh at them a little bit. All you gotta do is just like you see something negative. I didn't slap some stuff playing around with it because it looked like it was trying to come to me negative, and it was walking down the street, looked like a big demon. He walking down the street, and I looked at him. I just ran up to him, slapped him, and just. But I was just playing. He just looking at me like, "You take the power away from them once that fear is gone. They don't have that power."
Hmm.
I know I say this stuff a lot, but a lot of times it doesn't. People don't hear me when I guess when I'm saying it's like you can't be harmed. Like don't be afraid. You can't be harmed. I'm gonna say it again. You can't be harmed.
Hmm. Yeah, unless that's why I say nothing. There's nothing to fear besides fear itself. When Forfi just said that as soon as you overcome the fear, the power's gone. Right now, what does this really look like? This goes into the fundamental teachings that I often say, or anybody always says. Right now, when we say when I tell you there's nothing to fear besides fear itself, because when you are fearing something, you are then by default believing that you can be hurt, harm, or touched, right? If you didn't believe that you could be hurt, harm, or touched, then you would have no fear. And believing that and having fear, it by default, it puts you in a state of, oh, I think I can be hurt, harm, or touched. I'm scared. So what does that do? That by default puts you in a weak position, right? And then by default, somebody can come because you are creating that for yourself. Do you see? Do you see what's going on here? And the moment that you release that fear and you stand up and be like, I'm tired of this, or you just say, I have no fear. You can't hurt me. You can't touch me. I'm an uncontrollable soul, or anything like that. Or if you just believe or replay this phrase in your head, nothing can hurt, harm, or touch me. If you just even say that, or if you just seek for anything, um, it will dissolve. Whatever you got going on will dissolve, and nothing, and you will then be in your complete authority. Just believe it. And oftentimes, and literally, all of these experiences where people talk about bad experiences, this comes from people that were just having these experiences on their own, and they were battling their own fears for a long time. When you come into this out of body experience, learning from somebody that has been there and is telling you these things, you do not have these negative experiences. There's tons of testimonials out there that were all positive, and this was their first time leaving their body. These negative experiences and negative stories come from people that do not know themselves, and we're just having these experiences, and we're coming out telling people like, oh, you can be possessed. I seen this, I seen that. Yeah, they did see it, but it was early on when they were still in their own fear. You see what I mean? So don't believe that. The ultimate truth is that you cannot be hurt, harmed, or touched unless you believe it to be so. This is
Yeah,
so true. There's nothing to fear. Yeah. So yeah, that was a beautifully said. As soon as you remove the fear, you can go on. All
yeah.
right. So let's see what other questions we got here. Um,
Not sure if it's
or
supposed
if you
to
got anything that's on the top of
entities.
your mind, man.
Yeah. I answer this question, the succubus, because I was
Yeah.
when I was younger, I was that you got that them hormones be crazy. So I was having some experiences with them succubus energies. I ain't gonna lie to you, when I was younger, I was like, come on, nah, come on here. Nah, it's flat. I went but nah, the succubus energy, the succubus, they come, you basically attracting them, just like even with like people saying, can you be hurt or can you be harmed? Even by you thinking like that, you kind of attracting it to you. So you want to kind of change your thought process, change the way you think. You don't want to keep thinking like, can I be hurt? Can I be hurt? Because when you get there, your mind you're gonna already have a different thought about certain things anyway. So the succubus energy, it's just a lust. It's a lustful thing. It's a succubus and an incubus. A succubus is considered a female um, sexual energy vampire. The incubus is like a male version, the masculine version. So it you can sometimes experience that when you're dealing with a lot of sexual energy. It doesn't mean that you're freaked out. Sexual energy can be creativity, all kind of stuff. Like your sexual energy that they trying to get off of you is just, it's just they just trying to feed off of your sexual nature. Say if you a little horny toad, they might be trying to get a little bit of that energy. Just learn how to control yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good advice, man. Because oftentimes I'll even be real. So the first time when I was first leaving my body, I was like, yo, I'm going to halls with many, halls with many. First time I was out, I was trying to get some, man. I was like, oh my god, I gotta fix my world, man. Like, why am I coming out of my?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, everybody know everybody. I was like, damn, everybody know this is what I did the first time I left my body. They're gonna be like, damn, Andre, why?
Yeah,
And
they're
I was
trying to
like,
get
damn,
some.
everything's recorded. I was like, everybody know. I was like, everybody's gonna know. Like, this is what I did. I did not want that on my record, so I came back and I fixed myself. But I will say, I will say at first, I'm telling you guys, the first thing that you guys think of, you will do, and you will find out what's really inside of you. When you leave your body, your demons will come out, your desires will come out.
Mhm.
This is where you can't hide it. You can fake it here in the physical all day long. You can fake it. You can
Yeah.
say I'm. You can say you're that, but out there, you're gonna be what you are. There's no pretending. There's no faking. You know.
Yep.
And then you can come back in the physical and do work on it and figure that out. That's why I say the out of body state is the number one tool to really work on yourself and fix yourself, because everything is revealed to you. But where was I? Oh yeah, so the energy they do, and oftentimes they may appear very beautiful and things like that, and they're not. That's not their true nature. So don't
Mhm.
fall for that trap. Don't fall for that trap. Yeah.
Yeah, when you catch them, they'll transform to their form when you'll see how they really look.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Be tall,
Don't do it.
skinny, be long and skinny. You be like, "What the fuck? That ain't what I was seeing at first. I was really turned on at first, but now I don't know. You gotta,
Yeah,
you got to go."
yeah,
I thought that
yeah,
one where I said the horse came to my room. I had thought that was a succubus for a little bit, but she wasn't with the program. I was young back then, so I was like, when the horse, I'm like when you in sleep paralysis, a lot of people don't realize that they can move their energy body. So like if you're in
mhm.
sleep paralysis, if you realize that it's all mental, like you can move. So I'm laying there, I hear the door open, I turn to the side, just my energy, like I turn to the side to look. It's a big white horse. It's coming through the door, and I'm like, what the hell a horse doing in the house? Like, how did it get in the house? Like, and where did it come from? So I'm looking, and then the horse get close to me. I start rubbing the horse on the head, and as I'm rubbing the horse, it turns into this woman with long black hair with these like highlights in it, these like red highlights, but it looked more like electric. It was like different, and she's just staring at me. And I'm like, oh shoot, this is the wrong looking. This succubus look good. Like, I don't know if this is a succubus or not, but she about to get the business. Now she floated, she floated on top of me, and I was like, oh, because she like look like she like beautiful. I'm like, damn. So she kisses me on my forehead, and I'm like, it's yeah, she disappeared. She just vanished. Woof. Kissed me on my forehead and left, and I'm like, where you going? Like that wasn't. I don't know if that was a succubus or she was like, I don't know. I don't know what that was, what she was, who she was. She could have been a spirit guide that came to say hi, and then I got freaky, and she was like, "Bye." Like I got to go. This little boy, hormones
Yeah.
is too high.
So this user asks, Have you seen anything that looks like robots or AI, like they look fake, like CGI or something?"
Yeah, well, not a lot, not a lot, but I've seen robots like robot looking bit, but it'd be like in them places where it's a little bit more advanced. Like where I talk about the
Yeah.
place where I was at, and they had this they was using money, but it was like a point system. It wasn't like money like we have. It's just certain places be a little bit more advanced. It's been technologies that's been like dang. I hate that they so much in my mind, like so many wrapped up out of bodies in my mind, but it was this one thing that I seen and it wasn't invented. But it's invented now
Mhm.
and I can't remember what the hell it was. But
Yeah,
yeah, you'll see
yeah, a
some
lot of
things.
yeah, that's good to put out. That's another thing. A lot of the technology and inventions here, it comes from the other side. It's already invented. There's
Hmm.
nothing. Have you ever heard of the phrase, "There's nothing new under the sun"? This is
Yep.
very true. An example of this is I was out of my body in Neo Soul, and they had Suboxone there, and I'm like, "Oh, you guys got Suboxone?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." And I've realized in that moment, and that was in the past. That was in another life. So I was like, oh, so if they had Suboxone, it was definitely around before it was on Earth. And this comes in the form
Mhm.
of, yes, they are literally in contact with these beings in the physical while alive, because Neo Soul is a physical place here in this realm. They are in
Yeah.
contact with them. It does come in the form of that. That we are in contact with ETs. That's where we get this the chip in our iPhones. That's actually ET technology.
Mhm.
And if you zoom in on it, there's no way a human can make it. I don't care what machine we got. You cannot do that. You guys can look that up. Say zoom in on the SIM card or some type of
Yeah.
terminology. You guys can look up that video and see that. Just to help you, these things are real. Okay, so they can come in the form of actually being in contact with these beings, but these inventions also come in the form of just tapping into the other side. Like this
Yeah.
is like what Tesla did. This is like what Einstein was doing. They were tapping in and receiving downloads from the other side. Because they had
Mhm.
electricity back in the day too. In the history, like in the ancient Egypt, there was electricity, and then but recently there was a time when we didn't have electricity, and so what happened? They tapped in and figured out, oh yeah, we can have
Yeah.
electricity.
Somebody had
It's
that
kind
dream. They thought it was a dream. I had a dream and I just seen this. Let me try this. Now you got that download that came to you, and you seen how they
yeah,
create that thing. Yeah, all this stuff be
yeah.
coming. I remember before they had the you know how the backlights, like the when you signaling on your car, like they do the ones that light up now. They be like do 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 do, like it go across. Back when I was young, I had an
Mhm.
Autobot and I seen that on the car, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I would, man, if I had the money, I would that where the headlights do make a car and the headlights look more futuristic and you can see that line go across. Next, you know, as I got older, I started seeing it. That's crazy. Like somebody seen the same thing I seen. They just said, let's put this on the car.
And just acted on it and acted on it,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
and
acted on it.
yeah. Yeah, you can have ideas and inventions. So it's frequency, right? The brain is the receiver. So what you're doing is you're tapping into a certain frequency, right? And you're not the only one that can tap into it. Everybody can. It's just, all right, are you going to be the one to act on it, or are you not? Or yeah, that's very true, man. Very true.
Yeah.
All right. So
Can we
Alicia
pull?
asks, can we pull people out of body when we're out?
It's possible, but it's hard. I
Yeah.
did that. I pulled my niece out one time on accident, scared the shit out of me. Like I didn't even try to do that.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry for cussing. My bad.
it's all
But I
good.
did. She would
Uh,
sleep on my chest, and I used to just, you just have them randomly. So it was like she would sleep on my chest, and when I had my outer body, I was like, I'm looking around, I see it, and I'm holding her. I'm like, oh shoot, like this can't. Is this really her? And she looking around like what's going on? So I'm terrified because I'm like, I got to get back in the body because I don't know, like, how do I put her back in her body because she just a baby. You know what I
you
mean?
thinking
Like,
you messed up. Yeah, yeah. These
yeah,
thoughts
like
be
I didn't
coming in
grab her
because you're
body.
like, damn,
Ah,
like,
yeah, I
like,
wasn't
oh,
feeling my
damn, did
brother.
I
I
kill
did
her?
that.
Yeah,
He gonna be like,
yeah.
yeah, my knee, yo, yeah, don't be taking my baby
So
out your
sometimes,
body.
yeah. So sometimes I was out of my body and I seen some souls floating above their body, right? And I'm like, okay, so they're out. I'm like, all right, well, let me see. This must be easy. Like they're already floating. Like just gotta wake them up, right? So I'm in there. I'm slapping them in their face. Ba 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 ba. I'm like, wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm trying to pull them, but then the magnetic pull. This is so real. Um, so I'm slapping them. I'm trying to wake them up. Like, yo, wake up. Come on, we out of body. Like, come on, come on, come on. But they wouldn't. They wouldn't wake up. And I was like, all right, well, let me just pull them out. Maybe I can pull them out. And then the pull was so strong, I got scared. I'm like, well, damn, if I pull them so hard and I break this pull, am I gonna kill them? Like, I don't want to do that. So I was like, all right, I'll just stop. So it is definitely probably possible, but like I wasn't about to try that. I didn't know. So and it's hard because you got to make sure that they're conscious and aware because people can come to you out of body and you may not be aware of it. An example of this is somebody. Darius came to me one night and I messaged him the next day and he was like, oh wow, well, this is proof that you do remember something from me coming to see you the other night or something like that. Now I didn't remember what he mentioned at all. I didn't remember what he showed me. I didn't remember anything. So like you can come to people out of your body and you can just be unconscious and things like that. So it matters with consciousness and things like that in your awareness. because even if you get them out of your body, I've seen people. I've seen ex my ex out of body one time, and she was kind of just like a zombie, like in that like zombie state. And I was like trying to talk to her, and she couldn't, and it freaked me out. I was like, oh, what's going on? So I went back to my body, but I remember seeing her out of her body, and she was just like a zombie. So a lot of it has to do with like your consciousness level and things like that. But yeah, it's certainly possible.
Yeah, I've had a couple, but the thing, like when people be when you go to somebody, like say I got my sister, we had a shared out of body experience, but she didn't remember it the way that she did remember it the way I did, but she wasn't conscious, like, fully conscious. And the thing about it is that it's hard to make somebody conscious because they might get excited, and then as soon as they get excited, they about to forget this whole experience because they didn't got too excited. Their emotions is not balanced enough to really just focus. I don't know. It's a weird like thing. Like when my sister, she was out, I came out my body. I seen my sister running around like this. She running around and just touching stuff, and I'm like, I'm just watching her, and I'm like, she looked like she in the outer body because she's excited. It's like when you have your first out of body experience, and you're like, oh my god, I'm in my body, and so I stopped her and I said, hey, so 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 I
Yo,
stopped her. I'm
that's
like,
so real.
relax.
It says, when you have your first out of body, you run around like, that's literally what it's like, yo. I
That's
remember just
like,
going up and down my stairs, like, oh, I'm out, oh, I'm out, like, woo,
yeah,
woo,
you be
like just,
excited as hell. Like, oh god, like we made it.
like, nigga, we made it. Like, yeah,
Look,
I'm out of the game. Yes,
so
yes.
I done figured it out. No, I
Yeah.
try to.
Like, yeah, I done figured it out. I done learned the cheat code. I done cracked the matrix. I'm out of this. Yeah, yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
feel like. Yeah.
So I try to tell my sister, relax, relax. You ain't gonna remember this if you stay too excited. So relax. She like, okay, okay. As soon as I let her go, she went back to like. So when I woke up the next day, I asked her, I was like, "What you dream about?" Like, I'm like, "What you dream about?" She like, "I was in this house and I was walking around." I was like, and I started telling her my experience. She was like, "I remember that somebody was talking to me. Then I just was excited." Like, but the craziest one that I had with the shared experience was the one of my partners when I was in Houston. I thought it was at one point I used to drink a lot. Not like I was drinking a lot. Me and my partner, we'd just be in the garage drinking beer, liquor, whatever. We didn't have shit else to do. We was drinking a lot. Then it got to a point where I was like, man, I don't want to drink no more like that. So I ended up having an out of body. In the out of body, I floated out the window. I landed in the front yard. I'm sitting by the curb. My homeboy come outside, and we sitting outside talking. And I'm telling him like, man, I can't drink no more. And he like, me neither. And I'm like, we just started having like a regular conversation, but I know I'm in an out of body. But the next day, I was talking. We sitting back chilling. I was like, I can't even drink. After had that out of body, I haven't been able to smell liquor. I was like, I had an out of body that me and you was outside, and we was talking about. He was like, hold up. He was like, that didn't happen. We wouldn't stay outside, and I was like, he started telling me about me saying like I can't drink no more and this and that. I'm like, nah, that was an out of body. I'm like, what the hell? Like, he like, I
Mm.
thought that was real. And that after that experience, the smell of alcohol then made me want to throw up. Still to this day, I can't drink that much. I have to drink like a little bit if I do drink.
Because you made that
But
from a soul level, from a soul perspective,
yep,
from the eternal aspect of yourself. You made that decision. And then you even
yep,
remembered making it in the outer body. So it just doubles it. You know what I mean? Because a
yep.
lot of times we make these decisions from our soul aspect of ourself in the outer body, but we don't remember it. So when you come back, there may just be faint signs or something. But the fact that you
Hmm.
were consciously out, it doubled it. You see what I mean? So you're like, yeah.
Yep,
And when your higher self speaks, I mean, you got no choice but to listen. You
yep.
know. Um, yeah. So Chris, have you ever met the Kemetan
Are you
Egyptians?
talking about like the Kemetic
Based,
Egyptians?
yeah,
So
because
we
on this
have the
side we
whole
have the
black
whole
and white
black and white
issue.
issue.
I haven't seen. Well, have I seen the Egyptian? I've been to what looked like Egypt or Kemet back, like, but it was way different than what they say. Like Egypt looked like it was. I'm seeing TVs that don't have no type of it was just like a hologram hanging like over the
Mhm.
wall. It wasn't like no type of electrical type of like it was different.
So,
But
and
was you about to
this
say
is why I
something?
say when people think about ancient Egypt, think about Atlantis. Think about all the stories
Yeah.
of Atlantis and things. That's like that time period. That's like what was going on there. It was advanced.
Hmm.
It was also lush and beautiful, very
Yeah. What?
technological. It's not like human terms. Like there was not humans. It was not like we are
Mm-mm.
now. Angels were roaming around. The Anunnaki were around at that time. Um,
Yep.
like it was that's who built the pyramids.
It was nice too.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah, yeah.
river, big like water, big trees, grass. Like it was real
It
nice.
looked
And then
real
one of the
nice. Yeah, it looked real
people I had,
nice. Yeah,
they
and
make
they
you
use
think it looked
water a
like
lot too. Yeah,
yeah.
they use water for like, and I seen this one picture of like the eye of the Sahara, and they think like that might be like Atlantis, and it might be because like I've seen now I don't know for sure if the eye of Sahara is like the city of Atlantis or anything like that, but it's that's what it looks like. Like I've seen like circle cities with like circles of water and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I've seen that um, for sure. But yeah, Comedans, I don't know what he necessarily means by that. Do you?
Talking about the Kemites or something, or the Kemetic, like
I think he's talking about
the
like when Billy
Nubians.
Carson says. I think he's talking about like when Billy Carson talks about ancient Egypt used to be called. What did he say? It used to be called Kemet. Yeah, he says it used to be called
Yeah,
Kemet,
that
and
was the
like
first name of
that's
Kemet.
yeah,
Somebody
yeah. I think
said.
that's. Yeah. I don't know that
So-
whole narrative, but I don't know if that whole narrative is necessarily true or not.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's what I have seen is pretty similar to like what 4-5 said.
Yeah,
So the whole narrative is kind of different than that. You can't really think in your human terms in that way because it was a whole different time period. It was a lot more things were going on during that time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody, somebody said you be John Wick out. The activities might have hindered you from your frequency. That's why I be trying
Oh
to tell
yeah,
y'all, like, look, when I'll
yeah,
be talking about old experiences, like when I be talking
yeah,
about the experiences, a lot of people think I'm talking about the experiences I'm having now. They be like, "Have you went to higher places? 'Cause you seem like you always on these low planes." Like, nah, I
yeah.
didn't bet. I just be, you know what I'm saying? I gotta build you certain
It's just
things
be
I want you
funny
to
and
know
and
about.
and
Yeah.
yeah, that's because it's the early experiences that you learn the most from. So like, yeah, I understand why to speak on it. But yeah,
I go
this guy,
some of the
he
higher
he's
places.
advanced. Yeah.
Some of the higher places I've been to, they were kind of boring a little bit sometimes. Like
Mm,
even though they was nice and they felt very loving and it was one place I went to.
I know what
It
you
was
mean. Yeah.
formless. It was
Mm.
it was formless, but it wasn't. It was like you knew you was around other beings, but you couldn't see them. Like you couldn't. I mean, you could see them, but it was like you. It's a
It
formless
wasn't like
realm.
human interaction. Yeah, that's why they miss this.
Yeah,
That's why they say this is like the
yeah.
most wanted place to come. And
You
because
be
that feeling, it's like, all right, if you guys like music, if you like dancing, if you like playing football, if you like doing any of that, well, guess
basketball.
what?
Anybody.
Physical incarnations in the lower realms is where all that exists. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, if you
when you're
really
in these
want
higher
peace, you go.
places, yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
you'll find out if you really
you know,
want peace when you go to that other side. Because
yeah,
you'll be somewhere, you'll be like, "This is not." Because I've been to this place. It looked good. They were sitting in the house, they just chilling, talking like loving family. It felt good. But the longer I was there, I was just like, man, I'm kind of bored. Like I'm kind of bored. Let me wake up because I ain't doing nothing. Let me fly or do something. Go somewhere else because I ain't doing nothing right now. I'm just sitting there having a conversation. I want to go do something bad with my friends. Nah. But sometimes we have those. A lot of people don't realize they don't like some of them places, the heavenly places. You might not even like because you might be getting a little too bored. You
yeah.
might want to reincarnate. Nah.
Yeah, and it's not nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's all dependent on the individual. Everything is
Hmm.
relative to the frequency and vibration of the observer, your consciousness level. What are you at? Where are you at on your spiritual journey? Do you want more physicality? If you don't, if you're on earth right now and you don't like earth, well, free yourself from all earthly attachments, because guess what? If you don't do that, your soul is going to have those same earthly attachments in it. Like when I say free yourself from all
Hmm.
earthly attachments, I mean literally. Like if you like nice houses and nice things, and um if you like well, not nice house, you can have that in the heavenly realms, but like, how can I
Yeah.
put this? If you like, if you just like things that are done on earth a lot, that may,
You
you
like to
may
smoke
want
a
to come
little
back.
ganja.
Yeah,
You
that's why.
like to
Yeah,
be, yeah.
you like to do all those things. Well, this is where it's done. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, and
Yep.
that's why you can come back here. Now, this is why I like the Buddhist teachings where he says, free yourself from all attachments and you end all suffering. I mean, you do.
Hmm.
Like I said a long time ago, like I don't need much. All I need, I have no more physical desires. I've done. I feel like I've done it all. I was like,
Yeah.
all I need is, a little bit of clothes to come to, some good Wi-Fi so I can connect to the people, and a place to sleep so I can leave my body.
Yep.
Those are just things that like I need. Anything other than that, is just a plus.
Yep.
So that's kind of what I mean when I say if you free yourself, you'll be able to not come back. But you ultimately
Hmm.
might want to once you're in your soul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
might
some
want to
people be
come
like, I ain't coming back. They gonna get there and they gonna come right back. They be like, I didn't have enough
back.
sex. I was a virgin for 20 years, and then, oh man, I didn't get none. And they go, well, I'm
Yeah,
going
and they
back.
come right back. Yeah, and it's funny, but people think of the other side as just this majestic place. You stay the same. Your thoughts and beliefs stay the same. You stay the same.
Hmm.
Now you may step into yourself more godlike and more remembrance, like, oh, okay, I remember who I am now. Now I remember
Yeah.
I'm a god. But you're still gonna have the same thoughts. The
Hmm.
same thoughts are going to come in. So, that's why it's always good to work on yourself here in the physical, clear out your field, heal yourself from all past trauma, change your thinking, all of those things very help a lot here in the physical, for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I actually just thought about, another way to help people, and I just started, the service of, for this reason, is to free yourself from your subconscious blocks. And the reason for this is because a lot of people get caught up in narratives and belief systems here. And okay, we need to separate what's true to what's just a belief system and what's fake. What do you believe? Like what's really going on? And really remove your subconscious blocks so you're able to manifest things easier. You're able to have better relationships. You're able to just see clearly without the human goggles or the human lenses. I think that that's a good thing that will help people is to understand these things, because not everybody can leave their body, or everybody can, but not everybody will. But everybody can do these things in the physical. So, it's one thing to have these experiences, and for me to teach people how to leave their body, but it's another thing for me to teach people how to embody what I have learned from the other side while here in the physical. So that's another aspect of things for sure. But all right, let's get a question for me. Let's keep the questions to Forfi. Actually, let's keep them to him. User says, I had my first OBE or astral or something a few weeks ago, but it didn't feel more real than here. What tips can I try to get more real than here? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, not every time. Sometimes when you come out your body, you're not fully. Sometimes you will have those moments where you ever come out your body and it be dark, and then you have to your vision comes slowly. You know what I'm talking about? Like you'll be trying to get your vision. Like it's like you gotta command that awareness to come clear. Now, some people get lucky. They first time coming out their body, they'll be everything will be clear. Like my first time being out consciously, everything was clear. But it might just take more time for you. You might not be that aware in the physical. Some like a lot of people don't take into account that your physical reality, that what you do now in this physical is going to play into your outer body as well. So if you're not really, you got to start learning how to be aware of your surroundings, aware of everything. Help yourself become more aware. So when you having that out of body experience, like I tell people, I take notes when I have out of bodies. That's how I remember my experiences. That's how I stay in them longer, because I take notes. I look at stuff. I touch stuff. I feel stuff. I go to a refrigerator. If I'm in the house, I go in the refrigerator. The first piece of food I see that look good, I'm gonna try to taste it because it's gonna help me remember. You know what I mean? And you'll be like, that shit was bomb as hell. Like, how, I didn't know this shit tasted good out here. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, those are good points. So yeah, those are very good points. So what he's saying is things that make you remember things, like taste things and things like that. Another good command that I have learned, because I was out of my body and I was trying to figure out just verbal commands, right? Because I understood nothing was stronger than the spoken word, and I was trying to say like all these long phrases like "I am here and fully present" and things like that, right? And then I read this
I
book
was doing
from
that
William
shit too.
Bowman. He was like, "Oh, just say clarity now." And I'm like, "Oh, that's a great
Yeah,
command. Clarity now." So yeah, say clarity now and just command it and you'll be fully there and present. Another thing is touch your
yeah.
hands. You can just like touch your hands and
Hmm.
feel the physicality of them and really acknowledge and observe the physicality of it. You know what I mean? And that will help for sure.
Yeah,
Those are some of the tips. But yeah, that's another good tip. Or just go in the fridge and eat something.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know? Yeah.
Or just give it time. You just walk away. The more you just stay in it longer, you'll start to notice it's getting clearer anyway. Like I don't know, but everybody's different. So you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta work with what you because with
Yeah,
me, like
find out what
I
works for
test
you.
out I test out different things. Like a lot of people like with the sleep paralysis. That's how I first started coming out through sleep paralysis. But now it's like I shift. Just be like, I just be here and shift, or I'll just be here, come out my body, shift somewhere else, boom, I'm there, and I'm there. So just like how we talked about, I think we talked about earlier, that little sweet spot in between, like when you wake up, and it's that sweet spot. You know, you can just come out your body. The more you do, the more you start to catch those little sweet spots and be like, okay, I can get out right now. But just don't be like me and have 4 out of bodies in a row because you ain't gonna remember 3 of them.
'Cause you ain't yeah, yeah, there are you gotta try yeah, I love when you said that, bro. Just try everything out, and that's what I did, man. As soon as I found out the out of body state is real, I'm like, "All right, well, let me leave. Let me see how if I can leave this way. Let me see if I can leave that way." And never limit yourself. Like, just because I say one thing or he says one thing, all right, use this to think for yourself and say, okay, well, if that works, I wonder if this will work too. And formalize it for
Hmm.
yourself. You know, these are, I can only speak on like things that work for me and things that
Yeah.
can even work for others. It will work for you too if you do it. But ultimately, you can do and create anything. You know, like we are creator beings. So anything that helps you or resonates with you, just free your mind and just try things. You know, just if it doesn't work, be like,
Hmm.
oh, all right, you know, I guess that didn't work. Now,
Yeah.
an example of this. All right, so I was actually trying to, figure out like how to navigate time. Like I was like, let me see some time. You know what I mean? Let me see some future. So I remember I was just literally just sitting in my living room, like, all right, out of my body. How can I change this? How can I see the future? And I was like, well, if everything's relative to my vibration, I was like, well, let me just think I'm in the future. And,
Yeah.
boom. And then all of a sudden, you start to shift. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's how I can navigate time, you know?
Hmm.
Uh,
It's
but
pretty
yeah.
dope.
All
Like,
right. So, yeah, yeah. Let's get some other questions coming on. When
what
people
happened?
see
Let's
shooting
see.
stars, what are they really?
Sure, that
That's really
shooting star. No, already. That's not my field right there.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Let's get another one out here. Do angels exist outside of this construct or creation?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I can't tell
So
you exactly where they at, but I know I've seen a couple.
yeah, yeah. So to help you guys understand this a little bit better, so in this creation, this is really the only place that hierarchy even exists. Like, so get out your mind of angels or being, because outside of this creation, it's not like there's a hierarchy like there is within here. Within here, sure, the angels represent like a higher form of a being and all loving and things like that. But these physical beings and characters, from what I have seen, only exist within inside of this creation. Now, does this mean that outside of this creation will you not see an angel? I mean, sure, but even at that point, they lose its value a little bit more because now we're outside of the creation. Now we're completely outside of the game. We can be in a whole nother game. You know what I mean? Where angels aren't good. Or angel. You can
Mhm.
be in a whole nother type of game or an aspect once you're outside of this creation. But they can exist, yeah, but it's not like you would think. So I would say that yes, they are a character within this creation that we are in. That's how I view it currently at this time. Now this may change as I have more out of bodies, but that's how I view it at this time.
For sure. Do you
Question: do
think
you
it's
think it's
easier?
easier for some than others to leave their body?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is. For some people, it's easier. Some people have them naturally. Some people like they had them naturally, but just didn't realize they was having them. Some of y'all having them still and still want to accept the fact that you having them. Like you'll still be saying you having a realistic dream. Like a lot of people out they'll be talking about they'll be in the comments saying I had this experience. This is what I experienced. And the whole time I'm listening, I'm like reading it, I'm like that was an out of body. Like the way you describe it sounds like an out of body, but you won't step out of your own way. You still caught up in this these words of this the dreams. Like so many people stuck on a dream. Like that was a dream. Was it a dream or out of you know the difference. Like if
Mhm.
it felt real and you had a certain if you left your body and if you felt separation. I've had somebody tell me they separated and still questioned if they was in the out of body. You separate, you felt the separation from your body. You had an out of body experience. Like I don't
Mhm.
really what is
Yeah,
that, Chris? Have you seen your past
they
life?
doubt it. So the next question is, Chris, have you seen your past lives? I missed part of the episode. You may have missed it.
In past lives. I've experienced whole life scenarios, versions of myself. But
He said whole lives.
yeah, whole lives. I couldn't even speak on their whole life experience. Like I made a video about it, but yeah, I've experienced stuff like that. But I don't know if I could consider it a past life. I don't know. Like
Yeah,
that's
I
always
see
been
what
tricky
you mean.
when it comes to the past lives and the you know what I'm saying? Because you think of your past life, you think something very old, but it's been experiences that
Yeah,
seemed like they was in the past, but not too far behind, parallel damn near. But a lot of parallels seem more
yeah, I
like
know, I know what you mean.
possibility.
Yeah, yeah, and I know what you mean, man. And it is confusing because the term all things are happening now at once. When we think of time,
Hmm.
time is just another frequency. Time and space are all frequency. Nothing space. It's just shifting frequency. Every space, every time has a specific frequency. It's part of the equation that makes that substance real, right, in this physical reality. And
Hmm.
part of those things, once you understand that time is just frequency, you can actually see all things at once. So that's kind of why it feels as if things were in the past. But I know exactly what you mean. It's hard to say for sure. This is why this is a good thing. So if you guys are ever out, ask questions. Say, when is this? Where am I? How is this relative to where I am now? And then you can come back and tell people. But
Hmm.
outside of your body, things don't really line up like that. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, bro, for sure.
Yeah, it get weird out there sometimes, but it's cool. Like I just be there
Yeah,
for the ride. I be trying
yeah,
to see. I be like, this is all right. This is dope. This is a dope little concept or whatever. It's been like I had started writing a book about out of body past life type experience that I had. I ain't finished it yet though, but yeah, it's interesting to me because say for it's like parallel reality. Like the time I don't know if I talked about it today, but seeing like different versions of yourself. Like it's a version of you right now that might be good at playing the piano. If you could learn to tap into that, you'll pick it up like easy. Like most things, like there's something you picked up real fast, and you'd be like, "How did I learn that so fast?" Because there's some type of version, a possibility that you went this way, learned this, and if you tap into it, you can learn it. A lot of people always be like, "How do you know how to do something you don't know how to do?" play the piano, you can play a guitar, you can do this, you can do that, you can rap. I be picking up shit. No, I be picking
Yeah,
stuff up. I didn't.
yeah.
I done been making music in an out of body experience. Like,
Yeah, yeah, and another example of this to just add more validity to what he's saying, there are near-death experiences where people will have a near death and come back and learn another language and can speak on a whole another language and things like that. So there are many different things that you can pick up in the out of body. And one theory that I was playing with to go on your thing is if lives are playing out here. Now I don't know this 100% yet, but I be feeling like we can live out whole other lives while we sleep. Because like
hmm
if you've ever had an out of body, you know you can be out of your body and be gone for a whole lifetime. It feel like so like you can
yeah,
live whole lives while you're sleeping. Like it's just
yep,
this human life that lives through time like we are in now, for sure. Now, is that necessarily a thing
hmm
that we're doing? I don't really know because I'd be everywhere out of my body, but um, it could be. It's a possibility. It is a possibility for sure.
yeah. I've had experiences where I had to wake up and lay down and think about this life and try to remember this life because I was somewhere else too long. When I woke up, I still had the memories of that life, and it's like seeing my grandmother, or like my grandmother that's passed away. She's still alive in the experience that I'm having. Then my daddy is still alive, or my uncle is like it's like they live in these different lives, but I'm in this different version. It's like it's weird. It's so I can't even explain it. I can't even explain it, but I have to wake up and be like, hold up, that's not this life right here. Because I was so immersed into that life, I almost forgot about this life.
Yeah, and that's why these human bodies have speed limits, and we don't come in with full memory, right? Because part of this
hmm
experience was to experience what it's like to have limitations, to experience what it's like to not be a god. Essentially, that's the whole point of this creation. Now, so if you came in with remembering past lives, now everybody comes in and you are in amnesia. You're going to go through water. You're going to be born with complete amnesia. But the reason why that just happens for everybody. Now, during your life, you can wake up through out of body experiences. You can remember your mission. You can remember, you can have spirit guides come and tell you things and remember things. There are those things happening. But for sure, off the bat, everybody's here in amnesia. Now, why we all don't remember all of our past lives, because if you remembered a whole past life here, you would not be able to function as this human body cannot hold all that information.
Mm-mm.
Your human body can't even remember every single event from yesterday. It's just one day. You can't
Right.
remember every single thing. You can remember bits and pieces, but you won't remember the whole day of every memory, every thought, every action. It will literally slow you down. We just don't have the process and capabilities to do so. So that's why like we
hmm
don't remember a lot of past lives. But but the OBE state is kind of cool. And what remembering a past life like is like, it's kind of just like, all right, yeah, that's cool. Like I did that, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I was there. It's kind of just like,
hmm
remembering a time you went to an amusement park as a kid, or remembering a specific time as a kid. It's like, yeah, it's a fun memory, but
Yeah.
it's not really going to help you now. Like it's like
Yep.
if you were a kid and you remember getting bullied, and then you're like, oh, that's why I don't like that person, or that's why I feel like this inside of me. It's because you remembered when you were a kid, you remembered,
hmm
oh yeah, you got bullied. That's why you feel like this. It's the same thing. It's only as if you're remembering it farther out instead of just remembering from being a kid. Now you're remembering, from other experiences.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I can describe that.
Yep. I didn't learn from experiences I've had like that. I remember I had one where I got involved in like gangs and stuff. And where I grew up with, that was very possible. But that made me like I didn't get involved with the game, but it showed me how my life would have turned out if that was the decision I was gonna make. And yeah, I was like, nah, let me go ahead and stick to music or something. Cause I was not gonna be here. Yeah, I was cussing out
Yeah.
everybody. Mom, I was crazy. I said I resonated with the anger. I resonated with the temper problems. And I said, yeah, that's me. I could be that way. So let me try to fix that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, but so we'll answer, one or two more, and then I think we'll get out of here and we'll let you go forth. Um, actually, I gotta kind of get going. Um, but yeah, so what do you know about the fallen angels that are here? Who trapped them here? What's their fate? And truth to the Book of Enoch. Are you hip to any of that?
The fallen angels and all that stuff. She talking about like what they describe as the
Yeah, the biblical things like the Book of Enoch, the
yeah.
fallen angels. All those
Shit, we might
stories.
have to make a whole nother video to get into those time.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna say, man. Oh, and guys, I've been the Obi will no longer be a thing. My co-host, he's getting a little busy these days, and so that's not going to be a thing for now. But I will host these out of body truths live with either myself or other guests that are having out of body experiences. So with that said, man, I don't know what you're doing next Saturday, but if you're up for it, we can. You don't have to give me an answer now, but if you're up for it, we can come back next week and do this again and get into some different topics and things for sure.
Okay, okay. Just around that time, just hit me up or I hit you up. We'll see what's
Yeah.
going on. I could probably make some time.
All right. Cool, man. Cool. All right. Yeah. So let's see. Can humans create new constructs? Can someone create a construct like this one with physicality? Yeah, of course. Um, All right, let's see. I've seen some good ones. So, bro, fourth, you speak on seeing a vacant lot in the past and watching it being built in the present. Ability to see future events.
Talking about my old neighborhood, I think. I'm thinking that's what you're referring to. When I was one of the experiences I was talking about in one of my videos. Um, I like my childhood neighborhood. I would have these out of bodies, and I would basically see, like when I would be in the out of body in the neighborhood, I would see structures that's not there, that wasn't there. So I would see these structures, and I'd be like, that ain't how this it looked. But when I went there recently, it looked the way that I seen it in the out of body before. So it was like I was looking at a future, a possible future. You know what I mean? It still ain't done yet though. It's still some things that need to be built that I need to see before. But I mean,
Hmm.
I'm kind of convinced.
Yeah,
It did to the
nice.
stuff. But I know we running out of time, so it's some long stories I
Yeah.
got.
Yeah, and guys, so yeah, guys, if you're watching and Fourth Eye has his own YouTube channel where he gets into out of body stories. I actually just seen recently he does these like let's talk about it series where he talks for like an hour long about his experiences and things like that. So feel free to check him out. I do have his description to his YouTube channel in the description. And this guy has me cracking up, watching his experiences. So, and they're full of truth and wisdom. And every experience, whether it's funny, bad, or scary, there's always an opportunity to learn from it. You know what I mean? So, and to learn about the truth about the other side, things that you can experience, things seen. He does a good job at capturing his experiences. So, check that out. And yeah, I think we'll have to have you back on sometime, my man, and we'll be in contact, and hopefully we can do this more often. And I actually enjoyed this. I love hearing your stories, man. It's so funny,
Yeah,
and it takes me back to that feeling of the moment because
yeah.
that's literally how you be thinking. And you're like, oh, what the hell?
You
Like,
be
what's going
excited as
on
hell.
here? Yeah,
Oh my god!
yeah, yeah,
You run around the house.
yeah,
Oh shit! You wake up excited.
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Nah, this was
Yeah,
dope. This was a good video, man. I appreciate you bringing me on, man. This
yeah, man. I
this
appreciate
was
you for
dope.
being here, man. For sure, for sure. And yeah, we'll do this again sometime for sure. And yeah, guys, and you guys go ahead and check out his YouTube. It's a great thing. And other than that, I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place with Out of Body Truths. But all right, guys. So as always, remember, stay grounded, stay curious, and always remember you are not just in the game, you are truly the one controlling it. You know what I mean? I'm the alchemist. I'll see you on the other side.
That's a fact. Y'all take it easy, man. Stay blessed. For Ghetto Guru and I'm gone. Nah.